All right, Rob G. Super Bowl, what a dud it was. Very disappointing, but we have some details as far as how it plays on the Odd Couple.
Yeah, that's right. The big story coming into this game had everything to do with Sam Mother effing Darnold. Sam Ronald McDonald, whatever you wanted to call him. Yes. He was the big talking point for this show. So much so they have a remix of the I'm a Believer song coming.
Oh, can't wait.
Sooner than later.
Next week, next Tuesday
No.
Next Tuesday or Wednesday.
No.
Or the following Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, no. We got that coming up this
So,
week.
on one hand, Sam Darnold, in a win, got to mention that, lowest completion percentage of the season, 50%. Second worst yards per attempt. He overthrew at least one long touchdown and underthrew at least another touchdown.
100%.
So 2 touchdowns there. Wasn't spectacular by any means, but 0 turnovers. And in the second half, he turned it on 10-16, 114, and a touchdown. So there was some context to what he did there in the game. So, guys, obviously now that Sam Darnold has got the Super Bowl, he played mistake-free football for about a month. It's clear now, more than ever, that we've all turned the page on Sam Darnold, right?
Not so fast.
Oh, gosh. You sat up here and promised, Rob.
Not so fast.
You sat up here and promised the people.
I will give you that he had a clean game, but I'm not going to buy into Sam Darnold. In fact, I'm calling him Scam Darnold. He scammed his way into a Super Bowl, riding a great defense and a kicker who set a record for field goals because Sam Darnold couldn't get the team in the end zone. We know he had the most turnovers in the NFL. Yes, 20. When you think back to his numbers all year, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. It's not great. He had an okay season.
Mm-hmm.
His Super Bowl numbers, it was so bad that they picked a running back with no touchdowns to be the MVP because they couldn't give it to the defense. They didn't want to give it to the kicker, so the running back got it. Again, a clean game, but it was not spectacular by any stretch of the imagination. 202 yards, 1 touchdown, 74.7% quarterback rating. It was so bad, in fact, that Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer had better quarterback ratings than Sam Darnold. Only in 2 games this year did Sam Darnold have a worse quarterback rating. I mean, that's how bad this was compared to the rest of the season. He shrunk when it mattered most in those big moments. Rob G talked about 2 touchdowns that he didn't deliver on in the red zone and a chance to blow this game open. Couldn't do it. 9-0 at the half. Celebrate him all you want. It was a mid-performance, and I'm not giving up the ghost that I'm buying into Sam Darnold that he's a big-time quarterback. He's not that quarterback who the Jets drafted and thought that their franchise quarterback would be. Is he suitable for framing? Can he get you a Super Bowl with a great defense and kicker? Yes, he can. But from here on out, he scammed Darnold because he scammed himself into a Super Bowl ring.
Scam Parker is what I'm calling you. Scam Parker. You sat up here, looked me in the eyes, and lied to me and the people who wake up every day listening to our show, going about their day, working hard, listening to the pod, ignoring their children and their spouses to listen to us. And they heard you say this. Hit me with that, Mary and Rob G. Yesterday, he did. And then he ran up to the stage with a Super Bowl trophy. Do you believe in him? No. You give him another nickname, Scam Darnold. I'm so mad at you all season long. When you did it right, hey, Rob, you got it right. When that happened, you were like, hey, look, that happened. I said it would. And dang it, when you're wrong, I need you to be wrong. And when you tell the people you're going to do something, you need to believe in them. You said you would. Now let's get back to some things. You brought up this particular game. Grant you, he didn't look like the return of Joe Montana, Tom Brady, or John Elway. But you know what? Guess what? You know who else didn't? The guy who you said should have won MVP. You know what Drake May had in 4 games in the postseason? 6 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Well, I'll say this.
And was sacked, hold up, a NFL record 21 times. Now, the reason I bring that up is to say, Sam Darnold, you always bring up led the NFL in turnovers. And that's a fact. And I say, hey, I can't argue with you. Only thing I would say is, hey, he's been on the 3-game win. Hey, he looked great against the NFC Championship game against the Rams. Hey, he looked great in that fourth quarter against the Rams, a few weeks back. He's been great since then, including the postseason.
You thought he was great yesterday?
Specifically, Rob, with the turnovers. He did not turn the ball over a single time in the postseason.
It was a clean game.
Which
it
was
wasn't
huge,
a great game.
though. But that's huge in a game like that because turnovers ultimately can turn around and be the thing. And this is what he did. He didn't make all the big throws. He didn't have 300, 400 yards. But what he did was get his team down the field enough to get said field goals. I admit, it was boring. We all wanted more action. But he got those field goals, which were enough to give them a nice 12-point lead, and then ultimately 19-0, and then the Patriots scored a couple. But my point is, he had to do what Drake May couldn't do. And Drake May couldn't make some of the throws that were there because he was seeing ghosts, ironically enough, which is what Sam Darnold said back when he was a Jet. Sam Darnold did enough. He didn't hurt his team. We piled on to C.J. Stroud because he hurt his team. He was the reason they lost. When you have a great special team, you're well coached, and you have a good defense, you go out there and do what you're supposed to do. He did that, so you got to put some respect on it. And this is, to me, now we're looking at him 14 wins plus with 2 teams, 4,000 yards, 2 teams in a row, and now a Super Bowl ring. Sam Darnold has turned the story around, and eternally, when you talk about Super Bowl winners, we got to talk about him because he's got more than Dan Marino, he's got the same as Aaron Rodgers, and he's got the same as Matthew Stafford and a whole bunch of other people that we want to put it up.
Only difference is he wasn't the reason that they won. And you could poo-poo it or discount it. That was all set up for him to write the ultimate Disney movie, okay? Because that would have been, and it was on the table for him. Like you said, they moved the ball. There were situations and circumstances. What he did was he wasn't able to completely erase doubt. A lot of people watching that first half said, there it is. That's Sam Darnold. Can't get in the end zone. It should be 21-0. Instead, it's 9-0. He's letting the Patriots still be in the game because he couldn't finish the job. It would tell me if he would have gotten some touchdowns early on, he would have won the MVP, and then you don't really have an argument. But everybody talks about it when ESPN on their main page put up that the Seahawks had won. Sam Darnold's not in that picture.
But that's the point,
Sam
though.
Darnold's not in that picture because he was on the wagon. He wasn't driving the wagon, and that's the difference. So there will still be people like yours truly who will look at him as Scam Darnold, not Sam Darnold, because he scammed his way into a Super Bowl.
So let me say this. You're underselling the ability to just do your job and to not hurt your team and to not be the reason. That literally had been the thing people said. He doesn't win as he turns it over when it matters. Crunch time, he looks flustered.
I'll give you the non-turnovers, but you thought he played. Did you think?
No, he played fine.
Okay, he played mid, as you would say.
Well,
right?
not when it mattered. That's where we'll disagree.
I don't think so.
10 for 16, 114 yards and a touchdown and some key runs.
No. But see that. But
that's where the game was won.
Here's where me and you are different, because you talk about Caleb doesn't pass for more than 50%. I tell you about the big throw to win the game, and now you're saying you don't care that he missed 50% of his throws as long as he made the key ones and won the game. So which one is it?
I'll answer that.
Okay, which one is it?
Number one, this is the Super Bowl. This is a winner. What do you mean? It literally is the Super Bowl to win it all. That's a massive difference.
No, it doesn't.
Number two, I just said he was fine. You come in and act like Caleb was the greatest thing since since Brett, and I'll say he was fine in that fourth quarter. That's all I said. I didn't say Sam Darnold was great. I verbatim said Sam Darnold was fine. And that's my point.
877-99 on Fox. Let's get people in. I know they want to chime in on this.
Oh, they want to hear you say it. You sat up there and told him, Mary. What'd he say?
We don't have time for that, Mary. Just hold on. Mary. You could cut that. Mary, cut that. Mary, thank you.
Yeah, we want to hear it, Rob.
Has your opinion?
We want to hear it.
Has your opinion of Sam Darnold changed after last night, or did he scam his way to a Super Bowl title?
Scam his way.
We'll continue that conversation next with you. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. It is the Odd Couple, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And you know what you need to do. Stick and stay. No, we don't have time for all that. Mary.
Tell him.
Mary.
Okay, Rob. What else?
We are Fox Sports. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's go, Rob G. Last night I threw up in my mouth, and it wasn't from the pasta that I ate. It was from the idea that Rob G. Matthew Stafford won the MVP.
Guys, well, yes, if you missed it last night, Matthew Stafford is the NFL MVP. We all kind of expected it. He won by 1 vote over Drake Maye, who will be playing on Sunday.
Nobody expected that. Would you give me that?
1 vote.
That it was that close.
Yeah, and there's good reason why. It's because we mentioned it last year with the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson situation. When it comes to All-Pro, whoever wins All-Pro historically wins the MVP. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford ran away with first-team All-Pro. However, much like last year, a lot of voters flipped their All-Pro vote from Matthew Stafford to Drake Maye, which led to the closest MVP vote since 2003. And Rob, something tells me you're not happy about it.
We know you wasn't happy about it.
The voters, they got it wrong. They got Justin Herbert. How does he? Because he's 6 foot tall, 6'4", and looks like a quarterback. He got a vote. Like that was the worst vote.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Josh Allen got 2 votes, questionable as well, especially the way they fell off at the end. Mm-hmm. Very questionable. At one point, he was kind of in the mix.
Well, you're going to be, you're in the mix. You're the reigning MVP.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, it was kind of weird. And the idea that it was so close, to me, speaks volumes. Because his numbers, Stafford's numbers, were way better than Drake Maye. But there apparently were voters out there who just could not come to terms with voting a guy named Stat Padford as MVP.
Let me check it.
That's why he didn't get an overwhelming number of votes for MVP, because his nickname is Stat Padford. Because everybody knows he's been padding stats since he was in Detroit. He padded stats the last game of the year against the Cardinals after he had that terrible game against Atlanta, and he had that terrible fourth quarter against Seattle when they blew that 16-point fourth quarter lead. The voters got it wrong. I needed 3 other voters to come and make this all right. And I know I've had some year, but when I heard the numbers, I was disappointed, but I felt a lot better because a lot of people went the other way.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you felt a lot better, but I think, and it wasn't a blowout, though. Matthew Stafford, you mentioned some of the things that happened, and it didn't happen in the postseason where they've already cast their vote. The stuff that would make people maybe go, oh, it's tight. Like, let's say week, 13-ish, 14, you're like, it's close. I got Stafford right now. Look like they're going to run away with the West, maybe run away with the NFC.
They were the number 1 seed.
Right, the tougher
for most of the year.
Tougher conference. And then the last few games, they do lose to Seattle. They lose a stinker to Atlanta. And they fight. He has to play against the Cardinals. So I do think some people are like, it's that close, I'm going to give it to Drake Maye. Or some people may have said it's that close, but maybe I really looked at Drake Maye's schedule. And so both played spectacularly, but I think they got it right ultimately for me, because I'm looking at a guy that was in we just had Christian McCaffrey here. His division was incredibly tough, as is. In fact, one of the representatives from his division at the Super Bowl is from his division. So he got to play them twice. He got to play the 49ers
But that doesn't
twice.
seem – I hear that.
But hold on, and I go through the rest of that conference and their schedule. So they played an incredibly difficult schedule, and then Matthew Stafford still goes crazy with the numbers. And his numbers were ballooned compared to anyone else. So I think, again, this was no blowout. This wasn't a year where, there's just no rivals. Maybe a Patrick Mahomes year from a few years ago where you're like, all right, what are we going to do? Or a Lamar Jackson year a couple years back. This is just, to me, where if I were a voter, I would have edged him out in his favor looking at those things.
I don't think so, because I saw a lot of tweets from football writers who were shocked at how close it was. There were some who thought, wow, with his numbers, that many people didn't vote for him.
But it's what you were saying before we got here. It was the close of the season. And you brought up who they played. Was it the Cardinals? Yeah, last week.
When he put those added, what do you have, 4 touchdowns, Rob G, last week or whatever that got him to the.
So imagine it's the reverse. He throws 2, and he throws 2 interceptions. 2, you know what I mean? Where it's like, and this is how you finish it?
Well,
that might have been the 2 or 3 votes. So he and maybe that also was what made him win, was going out there and playing, because maybe if people would have saw the last you lost to the Falcons, would not have voted well for him. So
I need to start getting a vote. I know I'm in the baseball.
how many Hall of Fame or MVPs and Hall of Fame votes you want?
I need one for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because had I been a voter,
I tell you why they're not going to give it to you.
I wouldn't have. Yes.
No, because you wouldn't have gone into this and saying, let me see, let me look at this, let me look at that. You'd have gone in there with, dang it, I've been calling Stat Pafford for 15, 20 years. I got to keep calling him that, and no way I can vote him the MVP. So, no, they ain't giving you a vote. You would have had to go in there. There's no way you could have gone. You know who's an MVP, Rob G? Matthew. You would have stuttered.
No. But I still feel vindicated that despite the numbers, it wasn't a runaway.
Rob and Kelvin on a Super Bowl Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, Magic City Monday. Of course, check out the YouTube channel. Shout out to Elijah, been working hard to get all those clips up. We get a lot of stuff up for Super Bowl week. If you didn't get to see all the interviews we had, go to Odd Couple FSR. Search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. Find it, like it, share it, subscribe, 5-star, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Shaun King, who was big time wrong, is going to join us here in a little bit. We'll talk about
why you ripping on my boy?
Because between that one and the Tulane, my man, he be right, but he be wrong too. 877-99 on Fox. Speaking of be wrong, you too. Sam Darnold, is he scammed Darnold? Did he finally get over that hump like I said he would and did? 877-99 on Fox. He threw for 900 yards and 17 touchdowns in one game, Rob. You saw that?
No, I didn't.
Who we got? I told you,
Evan in Alaska. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Evan?
Hey, guys. Hey, listen, I started listening to AM radio again for the longest time about 3-4 months ago, and you guys have been my go-to show for gaining any kind of knowledge or any kind of information I need to know in sports. So I recommend anybody to you guys. I love you guys.
Oh,
Thank
man,
you.
appreciate that,
now
brother.
he's going to rip me.
Now he's going to be like, with that being said.
With that being said, go ahead.
You said, Rob, I got to understand, man, when are you going to admit that you are wrong, man? It's hard for me to take anything with a grain of salt from you anymore because, like, you don't admit when you were wrong, my guy.
I have.
You don't suck up the air that you blow out when
yes,
you blow
I do.
it out.
That's my new one.
We have video. We have audio, Rob G. Don't we have audio of me saying I was wrong?
That was only about your order of shrimp somewhere.
No, was it?
Yeah.
All right, Evan. All right.
Sir, you said you wanted 5 shrimp.
Evan, thank you. I was wrong that he didn't throw any interceptions. Okay.
No, I don't like that.
What? I was wrong about that.
I want you to believe in him, like you said.
I don't believe in him.
You said I'm using your own words against you.
James in Detroit, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, James?
Rob, you my man. Like, come on, Rob. You can't do this, man. You
can't do what? He can't do what? Wait a minute. What am I losing? I said that. Okay, I said he was throw 2 picks or whatever. It didn't happen. Hold on, James. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
That's the goal, Rob.
I'm just trying to tell you, nobody. Okay, I'm gonna say this for you. Just listen, okay? Nobody talks about Brad Johnson or Trent Dilfer. They had higher quarterback ratings than Scam Darnold. What do you mean, so what?
Come on.
He didn't do anything special.
The
He did not.
The best quarterback is at home, Rob. My man won the Super Bowl. That's all it
And by the way, Patrick Mahomes, who would go down as one of the greats, looks trash in a couple of his
James,
Super Bowls.
just go ahead. You can go ahead and idolize your king in this situation. I'm not doing it.
No. What they're doing is acknowledging that Sam Darnold was written off. Boy, you lucky. Mary Mac, we ain't got no organ. I was about to take him to church. Written off. Cast out. Said he wasn't going to be nothing. Now look at him now. On the mountaintop. With a Lombardi trophy. What you got to say, Rob Parker?
Yep.
Doom, 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 doom.
Driven by that defense. Yeah. And that kicker. Yeah. And Drake Maye having a terrible night. Yeah.
What you got to know, though, is it's a team sport.
Scott.
We play together. Hey. What is it, Worship Wednesday?
No, only God knows. All right, here we go. Scott in North Carolina. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Scott?
I need that I was wrong drop, Mary, because Rob Parker, you was wrong.
I said it. I said I was wrong.
No, they wanted to say it with a smile.
I said he was wrong. I was wrong. He didn't throw two picks.
You said it under your breath.
I said I was wrong. I said he threw two picks.
No, say you were wrong that Sam Darnold couldn't win a championship.
Nope, that's not
you
what
said
I said.
He couldn't. I would be dang. Sam Darnold ain't never doing it.
I said I don't buy into him. Scott, I'm sorry.
Well, listen.
You celebrate your Burger King.
You better use some company your money and go buy into him. Go do it now. Shaun King on the way right now. Steve DeSager, who's going to give you the facts.
Shaun King is the guy who needs to
Shaun King
going to be a blowout.
He was the wrong way. We got to talk to him in a minute. Hey, Steve.
Hey there, let's start with college hoops. Halftime on FS1 at number 17 St. John's. It's a tie game against Xavier, 42-all. Number 24 Louisville leads in the first half, 32-20 against NC State. And coming up at 9 Eastern time, it's number 1 Arizona, 23-0, playing at number 9 ranked Kansas. Arizona's been a unanimous number 1 in the AP poll for 4 straight weeks now. Michigan is still number 2. Houston is up to number 3. Jason Tatum of the Celtics was cleared for parts of practice today with Boston's G League team, who's been out since a torn Achilles last May. Charlotte has won 9 games in a row, out to a 19-18 lead on Detroit late first quarter. Norman Powell of the Heat out with a bad back. Miami about to host Utah. Chicago's lost 4 straight. Bulls are at Brooklyn starting up in just a few minutes. Josh Giddey of the Bulls still out with a strained hamstring. Jalen Johnson of the Hawks out tonight at Minnesota due to a knee injury. Dyson Daniels out with an ankle injury. Johnson today was named Player of the Week in the East. Jalen Williams of Oklahoma City returns at the Lakers tonight from last month's strained hamstring, but due to a strained hamstring, LA's Luka Doncic is out again. By the way, the NBA All-Star Game is this Sunday at the LA Clippers Arena. NASCAR's dual races at Daytona are this Thursday night on FS1. The Daytona 500 is Sunday on Fox TV. The NHL is off for the Olympic break. U.S. women's hockey won today, 5-0 against Switzerland with 3 goals in the third. In ice dancing, the U.S. is in second after the opening event. The team of Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, they trail France's team. USA curling advanced to Tuesday's final in mixed doubles after a 9-8 victory over Italy, scoring 2 on the final throw. Back to you.
Steve, thank you. It is the Odd Couple. He's Rob. I'm Kelvin on the Magic City Monday. Appreciate you all hanging with your boys. And coming up, we got your Tyrek play of the day as well as Shekel City. But right now, checking in with our man, Shaun King, former NFL quarterback, Fox Sports Radio NFL analyst who predicted a blowout.
I guess just because you played doesn't mean you always know.
The other way. Just the other way.
Shaun, what was that?
Let me be honest, man. Yesterday was abysmal. It might have been the worst Super Bowl we've watched.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. They're still Patriots Rams.
In a while.
It was bad.
I mean, it was bad. Sam Darnold threw about 5 interceptions.
Thank you.
They didn't catch any of them, and now we're having the Sam Darnold parade. Come on, man! Like Drake Maye proved that he shouldn't have even been top 5 in the MVP vote. And I mean, what a terrible performance!
Well, wait a minute. I'm with you on the Sam Darnold.
We know.
I got a new name for him, Shaun. Scam Darnold, because he scammed his way into a Super Bowl.
He did, right? He threw like 5 picks, and the Patriots dropped every one of them.
Shaun, okay. He threw, I admit, there was a couple that should have been called. That happens every single game. You know that. Don't do that. And nobody's saying he was Sam Montana, But he did what he did what we said C.J. Stroud was supposed to do. You got a great defense going there.
Yeah, but there were those passes. That's why people watch that, Shaun. They're not like, oh, Sam Darnold's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Oh my God, we were all wrong on him. No,
I think
in the big game, he looked like the guy that we thought he could be, and it didn't happen. I thought he would have a couple of picks. I did.
Guys, here's the narrative of yesterday's game. A running back that did not score a touchdown won MVP.
What?
And second in the MVP voting was the kicker.
That's what I said.
Come on, man. This was a terrible game yesterday.
No, the game wasn't great. The Bad Bunny was the show.
But the point that Sam Darnold's third, and you're talking about a wide receiver who didn't score, and you're talking about a kicker? Like, that tells you his performance. That's why you guys doing a victory lap on Sam Darnold's ridiculous.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not when
I'm with you, Shaun.
Not when he was written off. I told, don't make me start preaching again. When he was cast away and all that, now all he does is win 14 games. Last season, they punted on him. He goes out, wins 14 a game,
he had the
and
most
he gets to the
turnovers
Super Bowl.
in the NFL.
And he didn't have zero turnovers in the postseason. So when he needed to not turn it over, Shaun and Rob, he didn't turn it over.
25 and 14.
Listen, hey, hat tip to the Seattle Seahawks. Coach McDonald, nobody's talking about him. He did a great job.
I agree.
Defensively, they were really, really good.
And Josh McDaniels had a terrible offensive game plan. Where was the adjustment?
Oh, we're going to talk about that.
Where were the adjustments?
So for those that know football that are listening, when you have a sizable disadvantage on the edge, meaning your tackles can't block the opposing team's defensive ends, then you've got to give them protection. You've got to put a tight end to Will Campbell's side. He was getting murdered.
You had two rookies over there. Yeah.
And they were just dropping back, and I'm like, what is Josh doing? No screen game, nothing quick to get the ball out of his hands.
No chicanery or trick play. Yeah. Do something.
It was a terrible game to watch. Thank God for Bad Bunny. He saved NFL Sunday.
Without a doubt. But let's stay in this game. Talk about this Seahawks defense, how they've kind of resurgence. They had the Legion of Boom for a handful of years and was able to get to a couple Super Bowls, win one. And now here they are with this particular team. Is this sustainable? Last year they didn't make the postseason. You had two teams who didn't make the postseason.
They gave up 500 yards to Stat Patford just 2 weeks ago.
Well, here's the macro of why the NFL is king. You just said it. Two teams that didn't make the playoffs last year were in the Super Bowl. So every fan base now feels like the same can happen for them. And that is the
ask
one
Lions fans.
That's the one aspect of the NFL that I think supersedes all the other leagues. Is hope. Hope exists in every NFL city. Yeah. By the way, I don't know what your petty cash look like, Rob, but the Seahawks about to be available. So, maybe we can get Fox to co-sign for us.
I know
it's cool to own an NFL team.
It's amazing that they're going to be on the. And you know what? I think it makes sense if you don't want to be involved and you see what's going on and you just say, I'm going to cash out. Look at what these teams are selling for.
You saw the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, the Lakers are sold. The Lakers sold. The Celtics sold.
Commanders, not that they wanted to. But.
You could look at all these teams, and I could see where that is.
But we've got to figure out how to get our great quarterbacks back in the Super Bowl. Because we deserve better than Sam Darnold, Drake Maye. Yeah, yesterday was hard to watch.
It was. But I say that to Rob all the time, Shaun. I say, he's ABC, anybody but the Chiefs. I get that. And I genuinely get that, right? We've seen him a bunch.
But there's other guys. There's Josh Allen, there's Lamar.
But I'm agreeing with that.
I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes anymore. I don't.
I would have preferred Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford yesterday. I felt like we'd have got
that's what we all were hoping
more for. Entertaining fourth
anybody but
football.
Stafford. Thank you.
Well, they didn't score a touchdown in this game till middle of the third quarter, dog.
Yeah, we were all waiting. Yeah, we needed that. We wanted that Josh Allen, to get in there because even though his team isn't loaded, we know how talented he is, and he can make plays that only he can make. So you were banking on that, but that wasn't the case. Let me ask you this: so if other teams now are watching this, what are some teams you mentioned right there, Josh Allen and the Bills, who are saying, "All right, man, that should have been us"? Is this the Rams look at themselves as saying we were a fourth down conversion away from that being in the Super Bowl, and we can repeat hopefully next year?
I mean, that's the energy there, but a lot has to happen between now and the beginning of next season. I mean, we've got free agency coming up. We've got the NFL draft. I mean, there are, 10 new head coaches out of the 32. So you're talking about, over a third of the league, it has a new head coach. So, I mean, it's a lot of, things that are going to happen over the next 4 months to kind of determine, who catches. Think about this. Maye was the head coach of the Patriots last year. They fired him after 1 year, installed Mike Vrabel, and caught fire. So everybody's got hope right now. That's why the NFL is king. The Rams, I think they might have missed their window.
Yeah,
I really
it's
do.
possible.
That was a missed opportunity.
possible.
Remember, they had the number 1 seed, and they lost to Atlanta, choked that game against Seattle, and blew it up.
Special teams, both Seattle games.
Yep, and they fired the special teams coach, and they still didn't get there. I was going to ask you about Mike
Vrabel?
Yeah, about everybody was ready to crown him. Oh, first year, look at him. And quickly that went away, especially when you lose in that fashion. I know they made it to the Super Bowl, but now you start to peel the onion back and see all the warts. And I don't think people feel as good about him now after that Super Bowl.
I disagree because he's a defensive guy. And defensively, the Patriots played good enough to win a championship yesterday. But it's a problem when you have a defensive head coach. He's so dependent on others when the offense stalls. Like, his brilliance, his creativeness is on the defensive side of the ball. Remember, this was a 3-0, 6-0, 9-0, 12-0.
Well, that's only because Sam Darnold couldn't get in the end zone.
But defensively, which is Vrabel, he's a defensive coach.
I'm just saying, they were already ready to write a book about, you know what I mean? And I always say you got to pump the brakes until somebody actually wins. I remember the Chris Paul coronation when they were up 2-0 against Milwaukee. Oh, he's ahead of Isaiah. Do you remember all that?
I do, but then hold up.
No,
I
I'm just
remember that.
saying.
Yeah, he finally got it done. It proves where he is. So I get it.
And then all of a sudden, it wasn't. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if his shine is off a little bit. I think the shine on Drake May's off.
Well,
I think he's got to go back and prove himself over again next year.
Well, here's my thing. Even on that, on the MVP voting, which is weird, Stafford won, but 26 out of the 50 people did not vote for Matthew Stafford. What does that say to you, Shaun? 26 out of the 50 did not vote for him.
People don't watch the NFL.
Come on, man. These are NFL writers. I'm going to push back on that. I don't believe that. They cover the league. The only people who have votes cover the league, not watch TV. Cover the league.
So here's what I mean by that, Rob. Your energy when you were in Detroit covering the Lions was on the Detroit Lions. Now, you watched the rest of the league, but not as intently as you watched the Lions and the teams in the Lions division. And that rings true for almost all the people that vote for all of these awards.
No, but the issue is, okay, here's my issue.
You're watching the Seahawks and Rams play on the West Coast. You're just not doing that most times.
But you're watching the league. You keep up with it. What I'm saying is you're at games. You're actually there watching, and you talk to other people.
You're still a prisoner of the schedule.
No, what you got to look at is they're looking at it, too, and they're saying, he has all these weapons. They got Puka. They got Devontae. He should be putting up numbers, and maybe they discounted. You know what I mean? And they look at Drake May and go, "Well, who is he throwing to?" You know what I mean? I'm not saying.
I think a lot of it too was that none of the others really showed up this year. You think Mahomes had a down year, Lamar had a down year.
Oh, no doubt about it. Oh no, there's no doubt about that. It was definitely that.
Josh had a couple national spotlight games. Remember the Texans game where they sacked him 55 and a half times? So some of the other big names, I think, had subpar years for them.
All right. Last thing, did you put a lot of money on that game? You said it was going to be a blowout, or you didn't bet money on it?
Yeah, so here's what I needed to ask, because I do the show once a week, and we normally stop now that football's over, but I got to recoup some of my losses. So if you guys can bring me on for the next 3-4 months every week.
That's funny.
All right. I hear you, man.
Yeah, some other listeners probably about to tweet us, too. I listened to Shaun. I put the house on it.
That's right.
Hey, Shaun.
Man, great season as always, fellas. Thanks for having me. And I guess we'll get started on the Dodgers winning another World Series.
No, that's not happening.
He don't want to hear that, man. Shaun, thank you. Appreciate it as always.
All right, fellas.
No doubt. All right, on the way, your Tire Rack Play of the Day plus Shekel City. And just our overall thoughts as we spent a week in San Francisco, the whole city. Our thoughts on that. We'll do it as well. It's the Yacht Club of Fox Sports.
Yesterday, we were on our way, but November came. Man, I wish it was yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to try to answer this. Like, I'm going to ask this and talk about this, and then he's going to start drooling over somebody you play with.
Wait a minute. We should play this song.
Okay.
For
you know
his
what, Alex? He's right. Play this.
Caleb Williams. I made a song for
All right.
Caleb Williams,
All right,
okay?
let me hear it.
Because you
He's
already
getting ready
know
for
what this guy has been able to do, the incredible games. I was a believer when everybody was like, oh, this and that. Here we go. Here's the Caleb Williams song. And then I saw his toss. I'm a believer. And not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love with Caleb. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave him if I tried.
Yeah, like that.
All I'm going to say is, what a year for Caleb and those big throws and moments. Just talk about playing with him, his development, and just what he was able to bring to the Bears.
Yeah, man. Obviously, you know, he had a lot on his plate from OTAs, new coach, new playbook, and then, you know, a short amount of time to really lock it in for week one and then continue to grow throughout the season. I mean, super proud of how he handled that and really stepped up in that leadership role, bringing everyone together, and how poised he was and confident in those big moments. And, I mean, it's just what he does. It's crazy.
Are you done?
No, I got one more. That 4th and 8, you know, like that throw there, like that is a throw. People, I don't care. You can watch. I've been covering the league since 1987. I covered Lawrence Taylor when he played. I just want to give you some context.
Yeah.
I've been covering for a long. That throw was an incredible throw with the season on the line.
Yeah. Like that's like you see that and you want to be surprised, but it's like that's what he does. You know, it's nothing new. So yeah, shout out Caleb, man. He's a heck of a player.
And you yourself, too, man, 713 yards, 6 touchdowns. Like I said, obviously, I'm a Michigan fan, so I've seen you play for some years now. Talk to me about just the league, and you know, you've been able to kind of get in and get right after it. And then getting Ben Johnson from the Lions, it hurts me.
Man.
But how huge was that for you, Gall?
Yeah, no, that was huge. I mean, I got nothing but great things to say about Ben. He's been so great. Just from the moment he stepped in, you know, he's had a mission and he's been confident and stayed the same throughout, and has really brought everyone on board. And I mean, you see him; he's cold as ice, man. He's just like super poised, super like this is what we're supposed to do. Like he said, nah, we're not building this to be good in 3 years. We want to be good right now. And I think everyone really appreciated that and really, you know, stood behind him and just excited to see where we can take it.
The other thing I like about Ben Johnson is the feud with the Packers and Matt LaFleur.
I like it.
To me, I like that because, and Aaron Rodgers talked about it, the Packers own the Bears forever. You remember he said, I own Chicago.
Yep, I know.
Remember the whole discount double check belt thing. And Ben Johnson came in there, no, we're going to beat the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be buddy-buddy with him. I love that. Like, that's what sports is supposed to be, like a rivalry, right?
Yeah, competition, stir up the pot, yeah, get people going. That's what I like about Coach Johnson. He'll say it. He'll say it and stand on it. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
I want to ask you, too, Chicago, with all those big wins you guys had, just the reception around the city. Because when we watch those videos of people jumping through their ceilings, crying, you know what I mean, on those, what is it like?
Man, it's the best city in the world, and, like, for sports. I mean, obviously, if you're not doing good, they'll let you know.
You know that, right.
But when you're doing good, man, they stand 10 toes down, all behind you, and you really felt the fire come alive in the city. And obviously, we didn't get it done, and you know we're all sick. But just the amount of support and love that they showed them last 2 home games, playoff games, they showed out.
And it was cold there. There was an empty seat around
with
there.
No shirts in Chicago. That's how you know they're crazy fans with that.
Crazy, yeah. Shout out all the fans, man. Love the sport.
You guys obviously expecting a big year next year. I'm wishing you all the best, except for 2 games a year. Just Fox Sports Radio. It is the Odd Couple. Magic City Monday, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Thank you to Shaun King joining the show. Appreciate that. You can check it out when we get the pod up after the show. Rob G will be working on that as always. Right now, it is time for your Tire Rack Play of the Day.
Rodney in the backfield now. Play fake to him. Sam stops, looks, throws, got a man wide open. Touchdown, Seahawks! It is A.J. Barner.
Seahawk Radio there, your Tire Rack Play of the Day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. And it's now time for Shekel City. Yesterday. All right, how you do?
All right, Friday,
Well,
2
we know
and
you got 1.
No, that was Friday. 2 and 1. 44 and 29. 44 and 29. What is that? 15 games.
You 15 over, brother.
Over 500. All right, tonight, Denver Nuggets -1.5. They're hosting the Cavaliers.
It's a good
Nuggets
game.
-1.5.
That's a good game.
Yep. Brooklyn Nets +3.5. They're hosting the Chicago Bulls in downtown Brooklyn.
I knew it had to be bad. It was too close.
And the Pelicans -9.5. They're taking on the Siberia Kings in New Orleans. So
That's a bad
Pelicans
game.
-9.5, Brooklyn +3.5, and Denver -1.5.
How much would I have to pay you to go to that game? Rob G, Rob P.
Which one?
Pelicans,
Psycho-
Kings. Oof.
Yeah.
550?
I would go because I would get free food and I could go.
Yeah, that's
in
why
this-
you would go.
I would go and hang out. But
Boy,
anyway,
you easy. A Diet Coke and a hot dog.
and
you
I'm good. I am.
And you're there.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And remember, Kelvin,
What's that?
I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
All right. Elijah, you can just thumbs up or speak through Rob G. But the four of us, we all were out there, had a good time. What were your overall thoughts of the host city, San Francisco, a.k.a. Santa Clara as well, being the host city? Rob G gave it a thumbs down. What did Elijah give it?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Rob G, why are you so negative?
That was a hard thumbs down. He didn't even hesitate.
seriously.
It was boom.
What? Why?
Other than the fact that
What
I
was
saw
so
a dead
bad?
homeless person.
did. Yeah.
No, like, y'all jokes aside, Mary
I
Mack.
was trying to laugh.
I saw, like, I walked by him, long story short, walked by. I'm like, man, he looks really bad. He's leaning over in a wheelchair. I'm like, nobody else seems to be worried. It's middle of the day. Went in, packed up, came back out 45 minutes later. They're putting the sheet over him.
He was cold. I'm sorry.
Rob! You know, I'm not doing this with you today. The man is no longer with us. He's deceased.
Are
yes,
you
he's
sure?
cold. His body is cold because he's not with us anymore. Yes, I'm sure the ambulance was there, and they
But
put the
that's why
whole
they put
sheet over him.
Was it over his head or just up to his neck?
So you went back to it. I tried to, like, cut you some slack, and you went back. All right, you're coming with us next Sunday. We're coming to get holy water on you. We're coming to
All
lay
right.
hands on you.
I give it a thumbs up. I was expecting the worst because you know all the narrative
Yeah.
about San Francisco.
Thumbs up?
Thumbs
Not
up.
like thumb side little.
No, thumbs up. I'm giving it a
Not
thumbs
like a 10
up.
I give it a 10
Remember,
o'clock thumbs up.
I'm not a negative guy. I'm one of the most optimistic guys going. So I'm saying
I feel like I'm looking in the mirror. What did you just say to me? What? You?
everybody says I'm negative. Here I am telling you that I love San Francisco.
Okay, what did you love about it? And then, Rob G, what didn't you love about it? Quickly,
I
we
love
got a minute.
the walking. You know, like
I do like the
I
steps.
like the steps. Some of the views, like when we're in the cars or whatever, and you could see the water and all this other stuff and the hills. Aesthetically, it's a
Okay, I have
beautiful place.
zero argument there. If you go
Rob
to
G, aesthetically,
Fisherman's
no.
Wharf, Pier 39.
It's
Beautiful.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
San Francisco.
No, San Francisco, if you've never been,
Oh,
it is beautiful. The landscape, as you mentioned, it's different in Southern California. You know, it's much more hilly. It's bay, so it seems the water seems a little bit different. It's beautiful. Everything, you could walk it, but I do feel like we needed the Santa Clara action to be with us as well. Right, Rob G?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's fitting that it's this Super Bowl week that we had where it was no buzz whatsoever ended with a dud of a game.
yeah. I'm
'Cause
not surprised.
I walked
right.
the streets. We were in these streets, and 10% of the buzz we had last year in New Orleans.
It didn't feel it.
It didn't
until,
feel like a Super Bowl.
I agree with that. Now I agree that
But-
that missed the mark. But you got to admit, considering all the negative stuff we heard,
I love the
it wasn't
walkability.
as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to be walking over homeless people left and right.
Well, I told you, after I saw the dead one, R.I.P., I turned left, and another dude had whipped it out and was just, letting it go. So they were there. But overall, I enjoyed myself, man. I had a good time. We all did.
We are Sports.
It's the Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game?
That game was incredible.
You are wrong. You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion.
Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please.
I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King. The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun. I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 2 on a Magic City Monday. Football season is officially over with that terrible Super Bowl. I'm just being real.
Listen, you ain't lying. It was nobody was like, "Woo, this is thrilling."
Thank God for Bad Bunny.
Wait, let me ask both of you. You, Rob, G, was that 2 in a row now? Like, even though we had bigger and sexier franchises and names, and the Eagles and Chiefs and Jalen Hurts,
too.
Right, it was a blowout. It was a beatdown of mass proportion. So, is that 2 in a row now, or was this one the bad one? Last one was maybe good because it was just such a dominant performance by the Eagles. Like, how do you handle that?
I think as big of a blowout as it was, it still felt better. Like you said, you got to see the Eagles do their thing.
And a lot of people got to see the Chiefs beat down. You know what I mean? Like, finally.
And in this game, it's just field goals. You know what I mean? Like, if there were touchdowns early on, a couple more touchdowns, then it would have been like, wow, they rolled defensively. Sam Darnold did his thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then you could look at them and say they were a monster machine. But all those field goals just don't make you feel as good.
I think that's the difference when I looked at that Eagles team. They completely dominated who had been the bullies for the last, handful of years in the Chiefs. And Jalen Hurts had a good game, so it was both offensively and defensively, the front line of the defense offense. So even though it was a blowout, it was just a pure, unadulterated beatdown by one team.
All right, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, man. We appreciate you. Over 20,000. Yeah. Hope to get to 22,000.
What's the next goal, Elijah? Should we go 25 or 30?
22. Like we should make
25.
It
Let's get to 25 by the end of February.
25,000. So tell your friends. Make sure they sign, subscribe. Just search Odd Couple FSR on YouTube. That's Odd Couple FSR and hit that subscribe button. Okay, we appreciate it. Don't forget, coming up in 27 minutes, TJ Houshmandzadeh, the former Pro Bowl wide receiver and co-host of Up on Game on Fox Sports Radio while we're in San Francisco. A little Cam Newton action. Rob G, what did Cam Newton say to me? Do you remember?
That's a big freaking
Said he was
dude.
a big fan of yours.
Did he really? Shout out to him. Yeah, hey, that's a big
He's a big guy.
Like, you're a big guy?
No, he's big.
He's probably got
big. I'm 6'4".
2.5 inches maybe, and just a bit. Like,
he's a big guy. It was
is
nice.
Josh Allen? He can't be bigger than him, right? Because at that point, it's just getting ridiculous.
And a couple of our interviews that we had, I really enjoyed.
Oh man, I was telling that off the air, man.
Right?
Colston, Loveland was great. He laughed at your joke.
Rob G, come on, and he loved the Caleb song.
Yeah, he made you play.
He played it twice.
Yeah.
What? No, Mary, he had us play it twice.
He loved it.
Rob G, give it up.
I wouldn't say he loved it.
He wanted to hear it again.
No, he said, let's play it again. He's like, okay.
You know, Rob G, you were such a killjoy.
No, because in fairness to him, I'm sure
he had to laugh it off. You're saying,
I'm sure that he's like, well, I know my quarterback is good, but I'm not here to talk about my quarterback.
Well, I did have to do that a couple times.
This giant roll of toilet paper.
I had to bring it back. I was like, let's get back to this Charmin in your game.
Yes.
Whatever. I don't care. I was trying to talk about Caleb.
We know you did. You did. No, he was
the
great.
Other guy we
Lassiter, super good kid. He said, "Dang, OG, you trying to rage bait me?"
I know.
That was funny. He was great, man. You talk about a kid.
Mary, can you believe he said that? That I was trying to rage
of all
bait
people. He absolutely, like, I love he's self-assured. He knows who he is. He's still locked in. He didn't get there and just be happy to be. You could tell he like, no, like, I know what got me here. I'm still locked in. And who else was talking smack to you? Oh, Kyle Hamilton, when he said, OG, ain't you like anybody?
Right. The other one.
You see, realize they all calling you something. You rage baiting, don't like nothing. See? I'm glad that other people.
I'm glad a rage baiter.
You are.
Don't act shocked. Do not
You're
act shocked.
worse than any of even my generation. You be rage baiting, instigating, all that.
The only thing I will give Rob compared to your generation, y'all suck at it as far as the authenticity. Rob actually almost sells you that he believes it.
I do believe it.
These kids now go, yo, what the heck was that? Was that not the worst halftime show I've ever seen? Bad Bunny should be bad funny. That was terrible. Like, it's so obvious, Mary, what you're doing.
Well, the only difference is, like, the kids these days aren't educated where Rob is. So
yeah,
that's why
so at least Rob gets into it. He's a fraud.
Exactly.
And you're like, all right, then he must really believe. These kids, it's so obvious what they're doing.
They're trying to get you worked
Name
up.
anything in them. Just pick something in life. I don't care what it is. Food, movie, anything. Just say something.
Melania. Is that the name of her?
Melania?
What is it? Melania?
Donald Trump's wife?
Melania, I'm sorry. What is her name? Melania.
You like
Melania.
somebody's old country granddad. Go get that. Is he out there dating that Melania? Melania Trump is the absolute best president we ever had.
Right.
Yeah, right. Michelle Obama could never. I'm just that. Am I lying? You know you Mary Mac.
What's her name? Melania?
Melania.
Yeah, okay.
So then it makes you go, no, don't talk about my first president, Michelle Obama. And then you got to jump in and be like, no, Jack Kennedy did. They know what they're doing to get you into. At least Rob, you know, like he sells it well. It's so obvious what these kids do.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, Rob G, Drake May and the Patriots. I don't know how much better they're going to sell what they have to sell, because a lot of people question the season all year long, and that performance there did not impress anyone.
Yeah, it was a tough night at the office for Drake May. Right now, offensively, through the first three quarters, when you could say that the game was still kind of in reach,
because it was.
The Patriots had 78 yards of offense on 39 plays. They were outgained as a team 271 to 75 because you factor in like sacks and stuff like that. Seattle had 15 first downs, only had 5 first downs, and they were 2 of 11 on third down. It was all really bad for them. And then in total, Drake May kind of lit it up there in the fourth quarter in garbage time, even despite the pick six that he threw.
He was doing a little stat Pafford.
Was pressured 19 times, tied for the third most in his career, threw 10 off-target passes, career high, sacked 6 times, tied for a career high, committed 3 turnovers, which was also a career high. So naturally, in a game like this, hour one we talked about, everyone's back on the Sam Darnold train except for Rob Parker. He got the monkey off his back, got a Super Bowl. On the flip side, for New England and Drake May, it's, well, damn, that guy did not belong. Like Shaun King said, anywhere near the top of the MVP conversation. We're all off on Drake May and the Patriots. They had a soft schedule coming in. They had a soft playoff run.
He did what he had to do during the season. I'm not going to say
But what I'm saying is the narrative, just like it flipped for Sam Darnold, has completely flipped for Drake May and these Patriots.
And I think that's bogus. We talked about it, and I agree. The schedule was easy. One of the things leading up to the Super Bowl, as we talked about it in San Francisco, I mentioned it. I said Drake may have been sacked 15 times. The offense was scoring only about 10 points a game. And I said, this is going to be a tough game for them going into the Super Bowl. But one of the things, I wouldn't jump off the ship if I was Dre in the Commonwealth. And folks who maybe are Patriots fans or folks who obviously watch the game.
He better call in
Dre?
today.
Yeah, the Commonwealth. Thanks for taking my call. Here's the thing I'll say, though. You and I sit up here all season. One of the things that were consistent was we knew how great that Texans defense was, right? That's a Super Bowl caliber defense. We knew how great the Broncos defense was. Number 1 in sacks. They were getting after it all year. And we also knew the number 1 defense, statistically at least, was the Seahawks. So I'm looking at this as the Patriots. You finally got your just due at the end. What I mean by that is you had to run up to back 3 of the top 3 defenses in the entire NFL, and you had to play against them. Now, you were fortunate. Your defense is really good as well, and you got after C.J. Stroud. He gave you a bunch of turnovers like a bakery, as you like to say. And then the Broncos, you play Stidham instead of Bo Nix. And then finally you got into a complete team in the Seahawks with their quarterback, the running back. Everybody's, healthy and ready to roll, and you got beat down. Point is, I think they saw we took advantage of a soft schedule. Drake May can sling that thing and can run. And a couple other things. I don't like the way Josh McDaniels handled the game. Second half, you go on that thing, all right, we're down, what was it, 12-0? All right, we're still in this thing. Adjustments. There was no plays. There was no RPOs. There was no, we're going to let him get out there and run, so they kind of back up a little bit or have to spy on him a little bit more or something. There was no adjustments. We talked about it with Shaun King. No quick strikes. No, we're going to just throw a slant to Diggs or the booty and get it in their hands and let them cook. It was drop back, which was not working. There was no moving tight ends to block that left side that has 2 rookies on the offensive line. Point being, I think there's a lot to learn from this team. I think there's a lot to be had. I think they can see where their shortcomings are. They're the youngest team in the NFL. So I would say there's still some optimism for me if I would be the Patriots saying, all of these things considered, we had a really good season, and we ran up against a historic gauntlet of the Texans, Broncos, Seahawks defensively, and that was a tall task that I don't think pretty much any team could get through all three of those unscathed and actually win all three of those, Rob.
Well, I get that, but I think, as Shaun King even mentioned, when you talk about the NFL, you could think you have something going, and next year you're going to get – this was a golden opportunity, and that's how they got in. They snuck in. People questioned them all year. They kept winning. Things lined up for them. They did just enough to win. What was the playoff? What did they beat the Bills? 10-7, right? I mean, like
the
beat?
Broncos.
Broncos, 10-7. You know what I mean? Like they did just enough to get it done. And now you got to – there's going to be a reevaluation on the Patriots. Are they automatically going to be the team to beat in the AFC next year? I don't think so. I think there's 5 or 6 teams I would pick ahead of them next year, and there's work to be done, including from Drake Maye.
That was a little, I don't know about the 5 or 6. I give you 2 or 3.
There's a few teams. Dude, any team that Baltimore, Lamar's on,
there's
I'm
one.
serious.
I'd say that's one. You know I'm with you on that.
Then you could also talk about the Bills. You could talk about, a revamped Chiefs, like
You
to
ain't
be in the
gonna talk
mix.
about 'em.
No, I'm not.
You almost threw up in your mouth saying that.
But I'm just saying, like, there's 3 right there. And if
Yeah.
I were to look a little bit harder, like even when you look at the Broncos with that defense, and remember, their quarterback played well all year, and he didn't get to play in the game.
Dude, that
so
was
I'm
the
not
weirdest
I'm not,
broken ankle ever. Like,
but I'm not going to throw out Denver because.
No, you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It's about 3. I mean, they
That's
could
what I
feel
said.
like we could beat those teams. I'm with you though. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So next year will be interesting to just see how it plays out. But it was a missed opportunity, and sometimes you can sneak in, get one, but they didn't do it. And
Are you out on Drake Maye specifically?
No, I'm not out on him. I mean, 35 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He had a good year. You can say whatever you want. No, I'm saying
very good year, running the ball too.
And again, Stafford. More people did not vote for Stafford. I mean that you can look at the MVP thing. He lost by 1 first-place vote, right? But Stafford, 26 people did not vote for Stafford because, of course, there was 2 for
Josh Allen,
and 1 for Justin Herbert. You know what I mean? But when you add those, it's unbelievable that 26.
I understand his offensive line was going through, but let's settle down.
Yeah.
Because you know how many people should get an MVP vote for that if that's having the blah 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 happen. Then does Brock Purdy get one for all his a couple years back?
You can't do that.
Does this person get that because of this? Like, does that person? Every year you could go, well, this person did this because they were missing that. But yeah, I think if you're Drake Maye, you're sick, you're upset. But as I've been saying the whole postseason run, he didn't play great. I told you 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He sacks 21 times. I mean, they're played against some very good defenses. So he had to learn. He had to go through those growing pains. I think, again, he had the bad draw in the sense of playing these great defensive teams. Now, the good draw, that it was the C.J. Stroud quarterback led. It was Stidham and so on and so forth. But, man, you went through a gauntlet of defensive teams, and I think that played a major role. So I would be more optimistic saying, hey, let's come back next year. Let's go get one more weapon or 2 on the offensive end. Defense, keep playing like you're playing. And, again, they were the youngest team in the NFL. They got a lot to show as they move forward.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Are you buying the dip on Drake Maye and the Patriots? Or did they just get exposed as frauds? Is that how you say it? Frauds.
Yeah, you don't want to say it.
We'll continue that conversation next with you. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. It is The Odd Couple, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
America.
everything, but we got a special guest here with us, Christian McCaffrey, the running back from the San Francisco 49ers, who was supposed to be here for the Super Bowl. Christian, you know that.
He didn't smile. He was like,
he knows.
He didn't smile. He was like, yeah, I know. Why'd you bring that back up?
But I do want to say congratulations, comeback player of the year in the NFL. Congrats, Mazel Tov. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
No, appreciate it, man. Let's talk about comeback player of the year for you. We know how much you mean to your team, how much, we talk about usage rate. They use it so much, receiver, running, all types of stuff. What's it feel like to be back out there? And I want to ask you, in a season where so many guys were nicked up and banged up, but you guys made the most of it as far as you could get. Obviously, you would love to have been here, but.
Yeah, it's a weird year. Anytime you lose so many key guys like that, it can be really tough. And I've seen it decimate teams. I've seen it, kind of be a throw in the towel kind of year. That wasn't the case for us. We had, I think it's a testament to the coaches, to the culture, the leaders on the team, to, when stuff like that happens, to watch the depth step up in such big ways as they did. Rookies step up in massive ways. Guys that we traded for mid-season, guys who showed up week 4, week 15. I think everybody was bought into the same standard, and that's what made it really fun. Obviously, as you said, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but it's a season that I'll always be proud to be a part of because of the guys in that locker room.
Yeah, you guys had a chance of playing all the games here, and then the Super Bowl obviously being here in your home park and whatnot. But as far as your career, battling through injuries and all kinds of stuff, and still being able to be productive and do what you've been able to do, how tough is that? Do you ever say, my goodness, how great would it be if I could just play football and not be nicked up as much as you have been?
Yeah, look, nobody wants to get hurt. That's something that is part of the game, though. I've never talked to a guy that plays in the NFL that hasn't dealt with some sort of adversity, whether it be injury, whether it be stuff in their personal life. That's life, and I think that's definitely it puts an exclamation on it in football. It kind of heightens all those senses, but I feel so grateful for everything I've been through, the peaks, the valleys. I don't regret anything, man. I've found out so much about myself, so much about football. I think God's put me in some amazing situations where I felt so low and so down, and I was asking myself why, and I fast forward a couple of years, and I thank God. I'm like, okay, that's why. That's why I had to go through some of those things in order to come out on top, and it's all a part of the journey. Life has a weird way of doing that, and I think the more you can just show up every day, work your ass off, man, and trust the process, time kind of tells everything. And so that's kind of been my journey. I'm thankful for it all. Obviously, I wish I never got hurt, but that's part of it, and I know I'm not alone in that.
I want to follow up on that really quickly. I remember my mom telling me, my mom's passed away, but her telling me, I was going through one of those, why me, why? And she said, you should ask yourself, why can you see? Why can you think? Why can you breathe? Why can't, all these things. She said, those are the whys you should be asking you because everybody doesn't have that.
That's true.
And it changed my life. It really, really did. So that connected with me.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep,
no doubt.
Christian McCaffrey here on behalf of Visa with the odd couple, Rob and Kelvin.
I've had a visa problem. Mine got declined a couple times. Can you help me, Christian?
Is that a visa problem?
Yeah, that's all those bets.
That's a Rob problem. Right?
That's a Rob problem. Bets and those shoes he's bought since we've been here. Let me ask you this. Just Rob just gave you the lesson. I've had similar lessons as well. What about you having a father who played the game? What was that like preparation-wise? Getting you locked in could have been from high school to college and obviously to the pros. How helpful has it been? Maybe it's been challenged at all for some reason, but what's that experience been like?
It's been incredible, man. I think, I'm a dad now, and being a dad, I have a newfound respect for both my dad and my mom, the way we grew up. I have 3 brothers, and from a preparation standpoint, man, it's, things change over time, the way training is, the way, food, all that stuff. Right. Things are constantly changing, but the thing that I learned so much from my dad was, how to fight for every little percent that you can get an advantage. And that's something that's true to this day. And he really, that's how he was in his career. He played 13 years. He, won 3 Super Bowls and did so many great things.
That's a long time in the NFL.
Right? Long time, man. Long time. And, he maximized so much. And he showed us, he showed us the ropes from a young age on, not just how to do things, but how to think about things. It was almost, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't teach him how to drink.
Right.
I felt like he taught us how to drink, and he taught us how to, By the way, that's not the saying, is it? It's fish? Something with.
No, you can no.
You got it right.
Like I just butchered it, but
That's another one.
yeah. It made sense, but you know what I mean.
No, you got it.
No, it was bars. It was still bars. It was still bars.
No, but I think he, that was some of the stuff that he taught us, and the world's evolving, football's evolving, training's evolving, all these other things are evolving. But point is, can you find every little way to make yourself that much better so that you can maximize your potential?
Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. TJ Houshmandzadeh on the way. We'll talk to Housh in a little bit, get his thoughts on what we saw last night, and what many are saying was one of the more boring Super Bowls we've had in a long time, Rob. That's what the streets are saying.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you do anything? Like
No.
just sat at home solo?
Watched the game before I was grading some papers.
Yeah.
Eating some wings.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Just home
Same,
with the
just
family?
me. Yep, just me and the fam. Did
the girls watch?
My wife was doing hair, and it gets real. I mean, so she wasn't paying none of the attention. Mary Mac, she'd take braids out, redo. It would have had to be Beyonce or something on the skate, for her to really just perk up. But yeah, just sat there solo dolo with the girls running around, not paying attention, and that was it.
That
man.
was it.
Yeah. All right. Check out the podcast as usual. Rob G will get that up after the show. Please rate it 5 stars, like it, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's wherever you find your podcast. Just search Odd Couple FSR. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Taking calls. Did the Patriots, you buying them while they're low right now? Everybody's down on them. You still believe in them? You still believe in Drake Maye? Just an off game? What do you think? 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
All right, Jordan in D.C., you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jordan?
Kevin, how you guys doing?
What's up, Jordan? We're doing good, man. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just a quick thing. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the Super Bowls. I became a football fan in 2008. So the first 5-6 years of my fandom were awesome Super Bowls. What's happened? There's butt whoopings every other year now.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since you're new to this, I mean, I've been watching it. My first real experience was 91-ish, 92, and I know Rob's was even well before that. There are a lot of more blowouts than we like to think about or give credit to.
They used to be all blowouts.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I think we all act, oh, man, it's a blowout this year. Or it was boring. Super Bowls were not always fun. But when you get a couple that are, it's very memorable, and so that's what makes you go, oh, man, those couple that were great. But trust me, a lot more blowouts than you would care to
All right,
remember.
where are you on the Patriots? Are you buying or selling them? Where are you?
So I'm still buying Drake Maye. But I'm on a wait and see thing with the Patriots, because if you would have asked me 4 years ago, was I buying the Bengals after they went to the Super Bowl against the Rams with Joe Burrow in his second year, I would have bought them, and they've done nothing. They aren't even a factor anymore.
Fair point.
So I think they need to improve that O-line, and I think they need to maybe improve the wide out position too, because Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte. I don't really think they have a JSN or Jamar Chase on their team. So thanks for my call, guys.
Thanks,
All right,
Jordan.
no doubt.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. All right, Dre in Massachusetts. You're on the Odd Couple Fox
see what
Sports
Dre
Radio.
got to say.
Everybody crying in their beer in the Commonwealth. What's up, Dre?
How you doing? Thanks for taking the call. It is quiet right now in the Commonwealth. People are hurting. There was high hopes for this team. But the bottom line is this. This Patriots team is who we thought they were. You have to look at the
Wait a minute. You had them winning, didn't you?
Yes, I had them winning because I'm a homer and I want my hometown
Okay.
to be,
All right. There you go.
I appreciate that,
overjoyed.
admitting it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Exuberant. But the bottom line is this is a team that was one unintended win away from having a number 1 pick in last year's NFL draft and had 4 straight years of absolute positive dysfunction. Okay? And so it was an incredible resurgence, but they didn't begin the season and they weren't in the midst of the season a dominant team that was world beaters. What happened is, and us in the Commonwealth and people across the nation, we got caught in the nostalgia in yesteryear and of the dynasty. And we wanted this Patriots team to reflect the previous great Patriots team. And it's not the same story. Drake Maye is not Tom Brady. And this is a team that has some work to do. Here's the bottom line, okay? Yes, they could bounce back, but we don't know. That's the challenge for this Patriots team. This was a shot of lightning across the bow, so to speak, but they really have to keep it together to be competitive for years on end and not be a one-hit wonder.
I gotta say this, Dre, to all the people
Appreciate
in the
it, Dre.
Commonwealth.
What's that?
If you hated the Patriots, what a glorious week it was. No Belichick,
No Robert Kraft.
no Kraft, and no Super Bowl. Seriously.
So what a glorious week.
It was. I ran out of baby oil. It was.
That's why God had to
unbelievable.
calm your butt down because he was like, somebody had to win. So Sam Darnold would have won. You would have been. Your sacrifice was Sam Darnold winning to keep the Patriots from not having a great week, or would you have rather Sam Darnold had won?
I never bought into that Patriots
but
team all year. We talked about it. I'm not. In that case, I just thought Sam Darnold would wet the
Turnovers
bed.
and bakeries.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I
he did. Yeah, I get it.
One
more. Squeeze in one more. That's it?
Let's squeeze one more
All right.
in. How about Orlando and El Paso? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Orlando?
Hey, what's up, guys? As Rob said, this Patriots team was fugazi.
It was fugazi.
Okay. All right, listen. Come on. Justin Herbert, give me a break. First quarterback. Guy can't do anything in the playoffs to save his life. C.J. Stroud, to quote you guys, he went full C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat a backup quarterback? Nah, man. Listen, I'll give
Barely
you.
beat him, too, by the way.
Yeah, they overachieve. The team overachieved. They're going to be fine. They got great coaching. They're going to be fine, okay? As long as Drake Maye can get a championship before his contract comes, you'll be good. You can get some pieces around him. But you do need to, strengthen that offensive line. Because my boy, Will Campbell, he was playing rollerball out there. You see how many times they put him on skates? My goodness.
Yeah, man. Them dudes pushing people all over out there. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. All right, on the way, like I mentioned, we got TJ Houshmandzadeh going to join you boys. Right now, Steve DeSager going to get you updated. Hey, Steve.
Hey there, college basketball on FS1. Under 4 minutes to go in New York, and 17th-ranked St. John's has taken the lead 74-73 over Xavier. Early second half at Louisville, Cardinals 77-47 over NC State. And in a half an hour, it's Arizona 23-0 playing at number 9 ranked Kansas. Arizona's been a unanimous number 1 in the AP poll for 4 straight weeks now. Michigan is still number 2. Houston is up to number 3. Duke stayed at number 4 despite a last-second loss at number 11 ranked North Carolina. And BYU, by the way, has lost 5 of 6 but is still ranked at number 22. 7-footer Charles Bediako cannot return to college basketball after a judge in Alabama denied his motion. He's a former G League player. Among the NBA late games, it'll be the Lakers hosting Oklahoma City. Luka Doncic of LA out again with a strained hamstring. OKC's Jalen Williams returns tonight from last month's strained hamstring. The player of the week in the East, Jalen Johnson of the Hawks, is out tonight. Atlanta's game at Minnesota is underway. For Johnson, it's a knee injury keeping him out, and Dyson Daniels is out with an ankle injury. Detroit, early third quarter, leads at Charlotte 66-62. 19 points in 19 minutes in the first half for Cade Cunningham of the Pistons. Charlotte has won 9 in a row. Sacramento has lost 12 straight games. Sacramento is in action tonight in a game at New Orleans. It's Pelicans 23-20 late in the first quarter. The NHL is off for the Olympic break. The men's hockey tournament starts Wednesday in Italy. The U.S. opens on Thursday. U.S. women's hockey won 5-0 against Switzerland today with 3 goals in the third. The Americans outshot them 50-21. So the team is now 3-0 and ends the round-robin portion of the tourney against Canada on Tuesday. Canada this past weekend had outshot Switzerland 55-6 and shut them out. Today, Canada won 5-1 against Czechia. In ice dancing, the U.S. is in second after the opening event. USA curling advanced to Tuesday's final in mixed doubles. Skier Lindsey Vonn says she needs multiple surgeries for a complex tibia fracture after Sunday's fall in the downhill. The Raiders officially agreed to terms with new head coach Clint Kubiak from Seattle. Browns tight end David Njoku will become a free agent next month. He said his time in Cleveland is over. Back to you.
Steve, thank you. Odd couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. And as promised, we got our guy, TJ Houshmandzadeh, former Pro Bowl wide receiver, co-host of Up on Game on Fox Sports Radio, Hoosh84 on X. TJ, man, great game defensively, boring game, snooze fest. How'd you view it?
I thought it was a great game. Obviously, I'm never going to call a football game boring. It was just a great defensive showing by the Seattle Seahawks.
TJ, come on. That was awful. You like good football?
No. The Seahawks had the New England Patriots in handcuffs the whole game. They could do nothing. They couldn't do anything.
I don't know how you could enjoy that as a wide receiver. How in the world that game? I'm serious.
As a receiver, of course, yeah. I mean, for both teams, the Patriots had a bunch of garbage yards at the end, and Seattle pretty much just dominated the game running the ball. Yeah, if you're a receiver, you want to see points scored, of course, but you have. I
just want to see both sides. I just want to see a more balanced game. I'm not saying. I just from entertainment value, I just didn't get it. I didn't think it was a good game.
Honestly, though, when the defensive ends now in today's football, man, these dudes are just really good. They are really good because it's almost impossible, man. If you really look at how, you don't have a lot of time to throw the ball. These DNs and these defensive lines are so good.
But wait a minute, they gave up 500 yards to the Rams. I get it, and everybody wants to say how great their defense is.
But the Rams are at home, so I don't care how many yards you gave up. The Rams are at home.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying it's not like they kept everybody under 75 yards because you couldn't figure out a plan to get around it. I mean, did Josh McDaniels? I mean, he should have been fired. What did he make adjustments or what was I watching?
That's the question to me.
TJ, you know the game better than us.
When you go into a game as an offensive coordinator and they show you certain looks over the span of 17 games.
Okay.
You plan, okay, in this down and distance, this is probably the look we're going to get. And when you don't get that look, it's like, oh, they're going off what they normally do. And so it takes you time to get used to that. And it's what you said, you have to adjust, and they didn't adjust fast enough.
That was the problem I had. I didn't see the adjustment.
And let me add to that, TJ, and I've asked this to Robert a couple of times, and Caleb Williams being a great example. Sometimes I feel like, hello, you're not showcasing what makes this particular young quarterback dynamic. And 2 guys in their second years in Caleb. I thought that Ben Johnson failed in that second half against the Rams, and he didn't run them enough. He didn't, whether it be intentionally, like some drawn plays, or say, hey, man, if it ain't there, dip out. And the same thing with Drake Maye. I thought, all right, let's draw some runs up. Let's draw some RPOs just to keep them honest or do something different. Why didn't they use? That's what makes those quarterbacks dynamic.
You would think that you're going to try everything in the Super Bowl. But what happens is when you say, okay, you're on your call sheet and you get to those plays a bit too late. You start going to those plays and it's almost too late.
Yeah.
And you look up and the game's over. And I believe that's what happened. I wouldn't say Josh McDaniels has done really well all year, but ultimately, when they needed him the most, he wasn't there. They couldn't make any plays. They literally could not make any plays at all.
What about Sam Darnold? I mean, first half, he made the kicker and the wide receiver with no touchdowns and the defense, everybody. That was on the table for Sam Darnold to really be the MVP, be the Disney movie and all that. And he missed 50% of his passes. He missed a couple of touchdowns. He threw a couple of balls that could have
the one. That was
a couple of balls that could have been intercepted. Just his performance, in that moment.
I felt like once Kenneth Walker first play of the game, I think he broke for like 11 yards. I literally said in the first quarter, I said, "Oh, he's getting MVP. He's gonna be MVP of the game."
So you thought that after 11 yards?
No, because then in the first quarter, I think he had like 40 yards rushing, and I was like, "Oh, the New England Patriots are having a hard time stopping the run." And if you're Seattle, why would you go away from it? Why would you go?
I get that. I get that. But even when Darnold had a chance to make plays passing, I mean, like I said, he missed 50% of his passes. That's what I'm talking about when he was throwing the football.
He was 19 for 38, man, which is crazy to win a Super Bowl and you complete 50%. But this just goes to show you, as much as we give the quarterbacks all this credit, man, football is the ultimate team game, because if the defense and everybody else don't do their job, everybody is saying, "Oh, yeah, Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl winning quarterback." Sam Darnold came out the same draft class as Baker Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, if I'm not correct. Is that – yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He's the first quarterback out of that draft class to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And if you picture that, after all the teams that left him, he's sitting there watching the same game as a backup, with the 49ers, and now he's winning one.
It would be different, and I'm on a different plane when it comes to him. If he was the Super Bowl MVP and did all that,
nobody believe you.
Just hear me out.
Then you would
TJ,
go, well, it took everything to get him there, and blah blah blah.
I would look at it. There are people who looked at him and his performance yesterday and said, "Yeah, he won." But nobody went, "Oh, my God, he's going to be like the next great thing," and we blew it. I don't think anybody's saying that.
I think the Vikings are absolutely.
Do you think people are saying that after that performance? I don't.
Hey, the Vikings, the Vikings are sitting there like, "Oh, we blew that." You have to.
Yes.
You didn't make the playoffs, and the quarterback that you had just won the Super Bowl. You have to be saying, we kind of blew that one. You have to. That's only natural.
And they're not sold on JJ yet. That's the thing.
You watched him last year, dude. The reason that he was available is he wet the bed in the two biggest games. Let's just you're acting like you could have a revisionist history after the fact, but at that time, they didn't like the way he performed in that game against Detroit, where just like in this game, couldn't get in the end zone. You remember that game, TJ? They were in the red zone left and right. Couldn't get in the end zone. And then the game against the Rams, he couldn't get anything going. And I'm just saying, and I'm not sitting here, we could easily look now, he went to the Super Bowl and they won, but there was something. They moved up to get J.J. McCarthy, right? They got a coach who they believe is a quarterback whisperer who can make people better, right? Even Daniel Jones went there and felt like he improved or whatever. And I'm just saying, those are the reasons why they moved off of him.
I'm going to say this. You can say they moved off of him, and it was because he didn't win the big game. But when you play the way he just played in this game with what was on the line, you have to give him his credit, because there's a lot of quarterbacks that couldn't do that. There's a lot of them.
What, not throw a turnover? It was just a clean game. It wasn't spectacular.
But that's been his issue.
I'm just not throwing any confetti at Sam Darnold.
I get that. He wasn't John Elway. But that's the thing, is that if I'm known for having –
TJ said it earlier, that with a quarterback winning a Super Bowl with those numbers, you wouldn't even believe it.
But he's known for having bad games in the big one. And he didn't. He went the whole postseason, TJ, without a turnover. That's what he was known for.
TJ, who had a higher quarterback rating in their Super Bowls? Sam Darnold, Brad Johnson, or Trent Dilfer?
I mean, I'm gonna say those quarterbacks. I'm taking Sam Darnold. To be honest with you, I don't know who had. I know this.
Sam Darnold was last on that list. So Brad Johnson.
That's why I knew when you asked the question. But
come on, TJ, you know me.
There's only 4 quarterbacks to go through an entire playoffs without a turnover. Sam Darnold's one of them. Drew Brees is another one. I believe Peyton Manning also did it. No turnovers in any of the playoff games. That's hard to do.
There were a couple turnovers that the Patriots didn't squeeze, but I give it to them.
Early in the game.
Am I right? Yes or no?
They
did. But he made some big throws. All right. Well, any other thought from it, man? Were you getting your Bad Bunny on?
Yes.
I didn't think. I thought the halftime show was actually pretty good. I didn't understand it, but it was entertaining. I will say that. I couldn't understand him, but I was entertained.
No doubt. And we're looking at right now one of the news stations here. They had a live shot of Villa's Tacos, which is the taco spot he showed in the performance there. Famous little one in L.A. Now the line is wrapped around the building. Live shot right now, TJ, because of that.
And TJ Kelvin understood it because he's bilingual.
See how he try to see, TJ?
Okay.
You see what I'm dealing with, TJ?
He was thoroughly enjoying himself, man. Huh?
Yeah.
What? I said you were bilingual.
No, you better get to that lingo quick. You better get to that lingo quick before they try to chop that up and just leave it there. TJ, appreciate it, my man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all take care, fellas.
All right,
no doubt. Yeah. You know the internet be liking to play games. Don't have them happy out here.
I said it as quickly as I could. I just couldn't get
you didn't have what? You had a shrimp in your throat or something like that?
A scrimp?
A scrimp. All right, we got appreciate Hoosh again. We'll get that up on the podcast in a little bit. Jason Myers, who was the kicker for the Seahawks.
Who?
That's exactly who. And he might have should have won an award. We'll tell you what we're talking about. See Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before the new. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the Hall of Shame. I wish I knew how much I miss.
Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith had a lot to say about Shedeur Sanders, who was in the Pro Bowl.
They were friends of yours.
They were. I saw Emmitt today. He was here.
Pro Bowl. I had dinner with Deion once. I told you that.
We ain't going to have dinner with you no more.
No.
I ain't going to be here.
Ain't going to be here.
Ain't all right. But anyway, Rob G., those two belly aching about Shedeur, who threw 2 picks in the Pro Bowl. Okay.
Only one keeping Pro Bowl stats.
Only
Rob
one.
Parker.
It don't matter. Nobody cares. Throw 2 interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions. Make up your mind,
in
Rob.
a flag football game with no pass rush.
If it works for me, I'm doing it.
I got to remember that,
okay?
too. You're right.
Remember that. If it works for me. Right, we're going to blame the offensive line. He had no offensive line in the flag football game. He had no offensive line.
Give him the Justin Herbert treatment.
Okay. But, Rob G., what'd they say?
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders, going back to Monday, has been a talking point. Not the talking point, but has been a talking point.
He was right there, remember?
All week.
Over there, yeah.
All week, right? So earlier today, Deion Sanders was on First Take with friend of the show, Steve A. Smith.
Steve to us.
Yeah, Steve to us. And they asked him if there was anything that could ever be done to convince him to make the jump from college to the pros. He says, not whatsoever. After what transpired with my son last year, ain't no way in the world. So insinuating that there was some kind of mistreatment of his son dating back to the draft process through the preseason and the regular season. A few hours later, Emmitt Smith appears on Up and Adams right across the way here on FanDuel.
I never miss Up and Adams.
Talking about Shedeur Sanders. And you recall when their coach was hired and their GM mentioned after the season, we're going to have a competition for the quarterback. We're not going to come in saying flat out, Shedeur Sanders is QB1. We're going to figure it out and let the process work itself out. Apparently, that really bothered Emmitt Smith because he said to Kay Adams, quote, I haven't seen anyone else earn the right to be that but him. Talking about being the QB.
Oh, does he know the stats?
So both guys believe that Shedeur's been done dirty in the NFL. Do you agree?
Calvin, I'll let you go first because you know where I am with this, and then I'll follow you. But my God,
I believe Emmitt Smith. Let's start there because Deion is his dad, and that's a whole other thing. they are blowing out of proportion what has happened in the sense that maybe it wasn't the best situation, right? He didn't walk into this. They don't have loaded with talent, and they don't have a lot of weapons and so on and so forth. I agree to some extent of that, but that is the case for a lot of quarterbacks. That's been the case for so many. Have you heard of a Jet quarterback in the last 20 years? They've walked into terrible situations, even one who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, at least allegedly, because I don't know how these ballots go anymore, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't a great situation for him. So the idea that, hey, you're going to walk right into the NFL, everyone's going to love you, it's going to be easy, your team will be loaded, that's farce. That's not a real thing. And so sometimes you got to come into it. You're the guy and everything's given to you. Sometimes you got to earn it. Sometimes you got to fight. You got to tooth, nail, scratch away to get that opportunity. So the idea that everything's going to be peachy, to me, I didn't understand that. He would have not walked into the best situations. The Browns have not handled the quarterback
but he didn't
situation
play that well
years.
either. I mean, can we at least acknowledge that?
He didn't play well. Was it 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions?
So I got all the stats for you because Rob Parker makes sure to text me. I'm going to need those stats before you get to it.
Go ahead. Give me. And some of them are really bad.
Okay, he completed 56% of his passes, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 picks, all right? They went 3-4 in the games he started. His 10 picks over the last 8 weeks were the highest in the NFL over that span, all right? Here's the worst one. If you're a Rob Parker fan, you love it. Anyone else, you'd hate this stat. Of the 36 quarterbacks with at least 200 passing attempts in 2025, Sanders ranked last in completion percentage, last in passer rating, last in adjusted yards per attempt, and last in adjusted net yards per attempt.
And that's my case. Like, you could talk about all the other intangibles or whatever. If he balled out, it wouldn't be an argument. But I'm going to say this. This is why I wouldn't want Shedeur Sanders on my team. And I'm dead serious. Because anything you do is going to be an issue for people. And they're like this is why. And it ain't just, oh, look how they doing a brother like that or this and that. And I'll call it if I have to call it. Nobody wanted Tim Tebow either because it was the same song and dance.
Via's Tacos I was talking about. Now everybody's there. I mean, they were big before, but now everybody's there.
But dude, I saw that report at 3 o'clock, and they still have the reporter still out there, still doing it.
You saying he tired?
No,
they out here.
The story's tired.
Getting tacos and
but
stuff.
I guess everybody didn't see the 3 o'clock news. Like,
they didn't wait. Yeah, they ain't. How long you been
5
up?
o'clock.
Oh, you meant 3 p.m. and
3
stuff.
p.m.
Okay.
3
I thought you meant 3 a.m. I was going to say Rob.
No. I was
Did
asleep.
you see me
I was
doing
out.
It? No, did you see me?
No, just
stop turning to TV when I'm on, man. It's the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington.
They force you to watch
on a Magic City Monday. Look, I can just see. Oh God! You turn on your TV, wake up, and see your boy. Look at this. I'll see him in a minute. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It is the way tire buying should be. Shout out to TJ Houshmandzadeh. Just joined us. Rob G.
I was surprised that he liked the game.
Well, yeah, he's one of those.
He's a wide
he's a
receiver.
coach, but he's a coach. He's like in the, the game and understanding, and sometimes it's defensive and da-da-da-da. But, yeah, I mean, I think you said it best. So sometimes, look, we just look for entertainment value, right? And we just want a thrilling game.
But on both sides, I'm not like every game's got to be 55 to 45 to be entertained.
No, I mean, let's go back to the Eli David Tyree, who he actually met out there in San Francisco. Shout out to him.
That's right. We did meet him.
Yeah. So that game was what? 17-10, I believe it was?
17-14, right?
17-14. So
I'm almost positive. That
Yeah, one of them was 7, and I think the other one was like 21-17 or something like that. But the two that they played. My point is, it doesn't have to be high scoring. Just need a good one. One of my favorites was that Cardinals Steelers. Remember that one? Santonio Holmes. You had Larry Fitzgerald looking
right
back.
Before that, Fitzgerald had the touchdown.
Yep.
You think he's going to be the MVP, the whole thing, and all that, and then boom.
Yeah, Santonio Holmes
Makes
back in the end zone.
Unbelievable
man, that
catch.
was
Like
great
all
throw.
hands, nobody, great throw.
So yeah, it does. I think I'm totally with you. It's not about the points. It's about the storylines. It's about how they came back. We get so many. The first half is just jab, jab, jab. Right? Jab, okay, see what you're gonna do. How you gonna counter? And then usually we get a better second half, kind of like a big time fight, prize fight. First few rounds, see where each other
They're
are.
feeling each other out and all that.
You had a thought on Jason Myers, who was the kicker for the Seahawks, and just you thought he should.
I mean, you set a record 5 field goals. Again, Sam couldn't get him in the end zone, but the guy, and I know it wasn't like every kick was 55 yards, right? Because they were close. But I just wanted to set a record. And we talk about all the time. If he misses at the end of the game, he's the worst guy in the world.
Of the top team,
exactly. And why don't we give him any credit? Adam Vinatieri finally made it into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You take those 3 kicks. Say he misses 2 of those 3. You're not talking about Tom Brady.
No, it's a
Am I right?
It's a legacy changer.
It really, really is. So I don't. And I get the whole defensive thing. The problem is, it'd probably be great to put the defense in as a whole, but you got to vote for individual players.
Why
That's the
can't
problem.
they, who came up with the rule? This defensive half. I don't know. I
don't know how you split the trophy and all that.
We don't need to saw the. I'm just. It was clearly the defense.
Like if you get an edge rusher who has 3 sacks and a fumble, you know what I mean? Like usually it would go to somebody like that.
Clear and
but
obvious.
you can't give it to everybody.
James Harrison won one.
That's
right,
the one
Rob
who
G?
returned the ball for 100 and something yards.
Man, that big dude was running.
We saw him there. He came by.
Yeah, dude. Did you see him when him and Ocho Cinco had their little square off thing and he took his shirt off? James Harrison has to relax.
Yeah.
He
Where was that?
I think they had like a. So everybody does like live podcasting, not just a live like we're doing. They do like a later come watch it. So they did a nightcap live show, and James Harrison pulled it because him and Ocho Cinco been arguing about I think it's boxing or something they've been wanting to compete at.
By the way, James Harrison did not win Super Bowl MVP.
He did not that year. Oh,
No.
all right.
The guy you mentioned first won it. Santonio Holmes.
That was the same,
that's
right? And
Game-winning touchdown catch.
What did he have?
In that game,
James didn't
it was like a 90
like
yard.
He had a touchdown pick 6 at the end of the half. That would have been Arizona up.
Huge.
Instead,
that was a huge, and he ran for
90 yards.
Yeah, it was something like that.
100 yards. He caught it at the goal line.
That's what I thought. Right, that was supposed to go right. Right, that was a big turnaround.
Big man running. I'm glad we got a running back to win it because it had been 28 years since a running back.
But even then,
that's just crazy.
I know he had the yards and.
I agree. It should have been a kicker, right? He was the difference. Period. But 28 years, and I just think we get carried away. It always has to be a quarterback for the most part, or lately MVP.
Now, you know what's funny is I'm looking at this breakdown of the past Super Bowl MVPs, and on it it'll say 205 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 1 foot. What's funny is the one for the Baltimore Ravens. Remember the year they won, the dominant defense that they had?
Yep.
Ray Lewis got Super Bowl MVP that year. And under his, instead of having a stat, it just says, led a dominant Ravens defense.
See, that could have been somebody from the Seahawks last
he
night.
had an interception in that game, so you got to give him credit for that, but it's just funny. That's all it says.
It doesn't say interception?
It doesn't say any stats for him. Everything else, 30
That's
carries,
crazy.
157.
He just was all right. They was good. Yeah. Go back to the Bucks. What does it say about them?
Well, that one, it had the 2 interceptions for
Rondé Barber?
No. Dexter Jackson.
Dexter Jackson.
One of them was a pick 6.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably
that makes sense. Yeah.
Man,
But that's just no stats, just led dominant defense.
Well, that's what they're about to say now about the Seahawks. Yeah, it was a bunch of players that made a bunch of plays and stuff.
But don't they have that when you look at offensive linemen? There are no stats, right?
That's a good point.
There are no stats. Like guys going.
If you got stats, that's a problem,
right?
Yeah, that mean you gave up. Man, let's say maybe they counting pancakes. You know that you leveled a guy.
Pancakes.
Rob G.
We didn't have breakfast.
We didn't. That Rob G said he ain't.
That's
ain't
why we never had
breakfast
breakfast
no
in San Francisco. We are Fox Sports.
The Odd Couple. You know what time it is. It's your boys.
Let's get it. The Odd Couple is fun.
Check.
And informative.
Check.
What's up, America? You want to talk sports with 1.5 of the best-looking guys in the game? That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You'll be king of the water cooler.
What's it like working with Rob? Rob in his mind is like Chris Rock mixed with Richard Pryor, so I'm running out of fake laughs. Ha ha, Rob. Rob is very passionate.
Son, you ain't ready for this. Well, I don't have BS in my game. I'm straightforward. I'm honest.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice.
And, of course, it doesn't hurt that I'm right most of the time. Kelvin is the nice guy, wants to make everybody feel warm and fuzzy.
You done? Let me tell you the truth. I bring the energy, a youthful energy. Rob's not gonna see this, is he? And I bring an honest opinion.
Michael Jordan, I can't take it anymore. I need a break. I'm gonna go play baseball.
Trash Talking Tuesday is the best.
It's a great opportunity for folks to call in and they get to trash whomever.
Who you trashing, Roger?
I'm trashing LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
They can't even hold Wilt Chamberlain's shoes.
Stop talking about the king like that. It's a new era. Let LeBron be the best, please. I only recognize one king in the United States, and that's Burger King.
The connection with the Odd Couple audience is incredible. We really invite them in.
And they can relate, whether it be things about our own personal lives or our takes on sports.
Love you guys. You guys are killing it.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with your boys. They feel like it's just my guys, just my friends, and they join right in on the show.
We talk with the listeners, not at them.
Obviously, you can listen to us live, but you can still check out the podcast. You can check out our YouTube. You can check us out on social media. So in any way you want to get it, you can get it.
Yes.
There's some yelling. It is some hot takes. It's a whole lot of fun. I'll give you that.
It is fun.
I agree. Begrudgingly.
The Odd Couple.
Sports talk that's too good and too fun. In college basketball in New York this evening, number 17 St. John's has just won in overtime against Xavier, 87-82. About to start, number 1 Arizona at 9th-ranked Kansas. The Wildcats of Arizona are a unanimous number 1 in the AP poll for 4 straight weeks now. Michigan is still number 2. Houston up to number 3. Number 24 Louisville leads late in their home game against NC State, 102-70. And among the women's games tonight, there's a top 20 matchup at Texas with number 4
Texas, leading number 18 Kentucky 49-43, about 8 minutes to go. The NHL is off for Olympic break. The men's tournament starts Wednesday in Italy. The U.S. opens on Thursday. U.S. women's hockey today, a winner 5-0 over Switzerland. In ice dancing, the U.S. is in second after the opening event. USA curling advanced to Tuesday's final in mixed doubles after a 9-8 win. I'm Steve DeSager.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Hour number 3 here on a Magic City Monday. Football season is over.
Don't be sounding that excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a long year. It's been a long run.
So then you get excited about baseball, which is like triple.
That's okay. Well, it also means spring is coming for a lot of people.
Relief,
and don't forget, with back east, man, they're going through it. With the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us wherever you happen to be. Catch us and all of our outstanding Fox Sports Radio shows. We got to meet Stugatz.
Oh, yeah, shout out to them. Welcome to the team, man.
And
We got to kick with them for a little bit.
That's right, and all those guys are live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app and stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio for as one of your presets in the iHeart app so that it always pops up at the top of your screen. Also, coming up in about 28 minutes, we'll talk about the halftime show, Bad Bunny and
Benito.
And just thoughts on that and how that went. Last
it was a
call
lot
as
to it.
well. It's a little riff on NBC with Rodney Harrison and Tony Dungy.
I ain't see that coming. Not on my Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, that was interesting. Very, very interesting. And then, speaking of this, Shaun King alluded to.
What was that?
About why the NFL, because anybody can win kind of premise. Didn't he kind of talk about that?
Saying everything changes every year, yeah.
Yeah, so here it is. One league has a salary cap. One league does not have a salary cap.
Okay.
One league talks about being parity and anybody can win every year, and I think Shaun King was
alluding to Mm-hmm.
selling that idea. This is via Jason Stark, who a Hall of Fame baseball writer who writes for The Athletic and whatnot. And it's his annual MLB versus NFL parity report.
Okay.
Last champs the last 10 seasons in both leagues.
Okay.
How many different for baseball? How many different for football in the last 10 years?
Well, we know the Dodgers have won 3, so that'd be one team. So after that, what would that be? 7?
Good guess.
Yeah, 7 in baseball, and then football. Wow. So we got. I know they won 2. They won. Well, they won. So I'm gonna go to 7.
6.
6. Who am I missing? Who doubled up? So I'm missing somebody.
I don't have the list.
Because the Chiefs won 3. Who am I missing, Rob G, that won twice? The Eagles went twice, but they only – no, it would be them because they won with Nick Foles.
Right.
There you go. So 6, yeah.
Okay. Teams in the quote-unquote finals the last 10 years. You know what I mean?
I know that. You know the NBA be having repeat.
But I'm saying that, and this is just football and baseball.
Yeah.
Teams in the finals the last 10 seasons. How many different teams in baseball? How many different teams in football?
10 years, so that would be obviously could be 20.
Right. This is interesting to me.
14 football.
Okay, how much for baseball?
14, 15.
Baseball 13.
Okay.
NFL just 9.
Just 9.
So when you talk about the
Eagles, there's 3 of them.
Right.
You just talked about like 5 of them.
But isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Like
the one that has no cap, you thought teams would dominate.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like the selling point is supposed to be parity, and different teams will get a chance to win. And in reality, in the last 10 years, despite not having a salary cap, baseball is actually has more parity than the NFL.
And me and you talk about this all the time. And I went through the list
we talk about
of like 30 years. It was named, and we talk about all the time. The Royals get in there. The
Royals
Tigers
won,
get in there.
right.
The Marlins get in there. The
Diamondbacks
Angels get in there.
yeah.
The Diamondbacks. Teams that you're like, who, what, where? And obviously the big dogs that you know. So, yeah, baseball, despite this team spending $300 million, this team spending $100.
We talked about it last year. The Mets had the highest payroll, didn't make the playoffs.
postseason.
Yankees
Yeah.
still looking for a World Series since 2009. So there it is. All right, I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
It is.
Good pull.
Rob G, the Seahawks, everybody's talking about the dominance, and of course their dominant performance defensively in the Super Bowl. But is everybody ready to stamp them as one of the all-time great teams?
Guys, we talked about this leading into the Super Bowl last week, right? We mentioned that according to DVOA, which is now the favorite nerd stat when it comes to football, right?
DVAOEA? What
about Dove?
You know what's funny is, Rob, you cover a sport that uses VORP and wins above replacement and all that. That's determining a Hall of Fame career, but you can't say DVOA.
DOVA.
Yeah. I ain't going to lie. That does
My
sound like
baloney
Don't say
has
start this.
Don't.
But anyway,
You are a mess.
DVOA is like the
stupid.
thing, right? Like where it's like, hey, we don't care about yards per game and the yards allowed per game anymore because the game has shifted so much and the spread out field, whatever. DVOA is the thing. Coming into the Super Bowl, they were ranked 6th all time. They finished Super Bowl dominant performance, as we saw yesterday. They are now number 4 all time according to that metric. And it's not just that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They won their 3 playoff games by an average margin of 18.3 points per game, the highest scoring margin in any single postseason since the 2002 Bucks, all right? They finished the year on a 10-game winning streak. They covered the spread at a 75% clip this season. 7 of their wins during their winning streak were by double digits. They were putting belt to ass on everybody in front of them, save the Los Angeles Rams, and even then they beat them twice.
Right.
So, guys, I know that they don't have a top-flight quarterback. I know that their defense has a nickname that you probably never heard of until yesterday. What, if anything, can these Seahawks do for you to acknowledge that this is one of the great teams we've ever seen?
Do it again. And it doesn't have to be a Super Bowl per se, meaning let's say they get to the NFC Championship again, they love losing a tough one too. You fill in the blank. The Rams again, the Bears, the Lions, the whoever. The reason
Lions and Tigers and Bears.
Yes. Oh my. The reason that matters, Rob G, is because typically when we talk about the teams that are great, they had a year, 2 or 3 of run. Then that's how they get a nickname, Robert. That's how they get that rivalry.
It's not a one-off. It's not a one-off.
Right.
This is a one-off.
So far, yeah. And obviously for them, they would say, hold that thought. But that's why it matters, Rob G, because this same team was not in the playoffs last year. Right? So, all right, are they good? Is this a one-off? Did they just get hot? Will they lose a bunch of players to free agency? Let me see how this works out. Because you got to have something. The greatest show on turf cooked. And guess what on that team, Rob? Marshall Faulk got an MVP regular season. Kurt Warner got an MVP, meaning they were good. They were dominant for a few seasons. Went to a couple Super Bowls. That's where you get your name, and we got to remember them. We know about the Cowboys of the 90s. So to me, it can't just simply be where they were really good for a handful of games, throughout the season, and then just went back and they were 10-7 next year, maybe don't even make the postseason, and then we just forget about them. So they have to have. I'm not saying that in a 2 to 3 year run, they got to get back and make some deep playoff runs. Otherwise, it'll just be like, remember that one random team that won, and yeah, okay, cool. There.
Yeah, no, I think we're on the same page there. It's just, and all year long, Rob G, you said they finished with a 10-game winning streak, and even throughout the whole thing, people still weren't buying into them.
That's true.
Like we kept talking about it. How come people don't think that the Seahawks, because they still were questioning Sam Darnold, saying, like they came out of nowhere. Are they going to eventually just have that bad game and lose, and that'll be the end of it? And it never came. So it's hard for me to look at them, and I know. And then some of the other defenses that we talked about, Rob G, that Ravens defense, which was just, that was one of the greatest defenses of all time.
Man.
The other one was
that Bucks team.
The Bucks team.
the
Rob G and I
Bears.
talked about this earlier. They didn't just get they ran balls back. They were scoring. right? And that Super Bowl against your
Multiple
Raiders.
times,
Didn't
right?
they have 3 touchdowns? Didn't they run 3 back? Like
that was an obliteration.
That was the first time I think the number 1 defense played the number 1 offense, right, in the Super Bowl.
Rich Gannon was the MVP.
Yeah, Rich Gannon had a great year that year.
And they got beat down. And again, look at that team, Rob G. What do you always like to bring up, Rob? That team had been great, wherever you want to call it. Great is only when you win, then they had been really good. They just couldn't get over the hump, right? NFC Championship games, we would lose to the Eagles. They were right there. We knew the names: Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, Rondé Barber, Booger McFarland. They had John Lynch. Their team was insane.
No, they had nothing but
They just couldn't get there. So finally, when they did, you're
when
like,
they made the coaching change.
They made it. That's what you always bring up. So then you go, oh, see, we knew they were really good. Now they finally had that shining moment. And then they were good the next year. They just didn't win it all. So they had a nice year run where we're like, ooh, I'm telling you, they're right there. And that's what the Seahawks would need. Because this is they've been bad for 3 years, or at least they had 1 year playoff with Geno a couple years back. But you need more. So if they come back next year, I'm not even saying they have to win a Super Bowl, but they get to the NFC, it's a really good game, and because then you go, oh, shoot, they might
But
be
you know how
back
the
next
NFL
year.
is. They might not make the playoffs next year.
Oh, we see first to worst. Oh, we see the runner-up in the Super Bowl.
We just saw
not
Kansas
even make
City
the
do
postseason
that.
all the time.
So is your issue with this team that they just don't have right now what you consider to be the high-end talent that those other teams did?
It's not that the talent, we don't know if it's sustained.
Because you mentioned the Ravens, right? That Ravens defense was awesome. So of the last 26 years now, this Seahawks defense ranks metrically 3rd best during that run. Ravens are 1. The Bucs you mentioned are 2.
Those two
This
are
team
without
is 3.
question.
The
right?
difference
Am I right?
is
Right.
that this Seahawks team's offense blows those other teams out of the water. But you never going to romanticize this team because it's, Sam Darnold is whatever.
No.
Their
But
Super Bowl MVP didn't score a touchdown.
But the point you just made is what makes those defenses even better. Is that they didn't have the cushion offensively or points.
But what
Rob.
about the team in totality?
No.
I
I know what you're saying.
Because this team scores out higher than the Legion of Boom team that everybody seems to love.
Okay, I get that, but I'm just saying, like for those other two that we're talking about,
they had the run game and they could even throw it deep with
Right.
Russell. He wasn't quite in his bag.
he wasn't there,
was
right?
2 years later, but
I'm just saying, like when you look at it and go, they didn't have much to work with offensively. They had to hold teams in order to win, and they didn't.
And I'm gonna add to your point. The reason why we won't think of this team like that Ravens team, that what was it, 01? I'm gonna tell you why. That team couldn't allow no daggone Rams team to put up 500 yards on them. Remember, they used to tell Trent Dilfer, just score 1 touchdown, we'll win the game.
And
no, that's literally what they all season long. They would go. If you watch, they did that 30 for 30.
He's right about
when they're giving up no
500 yards. Now you can look it up. I don't know if you can look it up. I doubt either of those two teams ever gave up 500 yards in any game that season.
I know that Ravens.
I would be stunned.
That
if
Ravens
you told me
team. Remember, they went on a run where if you scored more than 10 points, they were mad at themselves. They shut out. I think they went like a 3 or 4 shutout, something crazy. They went on a crazy run because one guy was like, "I'm not going to leave my roof until the team finally scores on us," and he didn't leave his roof for like 3 or 4 games or something crazy. So for me, those teams, because of that defense, was insane. The sustained success of the names, Rob G, like right now, they have another year. We'll be like, all right, now you know the defensive players' names. You knew Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs and Ed Reed, McAllister.
Who didn't you know?
Yeah, right.
Right.
You knew our guy Rod Woodson, friend of the show. Like, you knew all of those players. You're like, oh, shoot, that's a beast of a team. And so, what was my man at the middle? Love him. We loved him. Hilarious. Saragusa. It's like you knew those guys. Oh, man, that's a beast of a team. So if this team has 2 years, and again, I'm not even saying
he was the biggest sideline reporter I ever saw.
Come on, dude. They ain't even put him in a chair. They're like, just walk around. Just go walk around. Go be big. So I think they need that. They need some character. Saragusa was a character. Ray Lewis was Reverend Lewis, laying people out. Ed Reed was just, I don't know if there's a greater defensive safety. Well, top 3 just defensive.
So Rob G, which one?
I looked it up here. You asked, about the yardage. They gave up 421 to the Jags.
Okay.
Which they though? The Ravens?
The Ravens.
Okay.
And they gave up 524 to the Jetropolitans.
Wow.
Who was on that?
Who was a quarterback then?
Was that Mark Brunell maybe? Or maybe he was a quarterback for the Jags back then?
Testaverde?
Wow.
Might have been.
I think that might have been
But then the playoffs is where they turned it up. They gave up 177 to Denver. Tennessee, because they had MVP Steve McNair, or one of the guys, right? Lit them up for 317. That was the big number for them. Then it was 191 against the Raiders, 152 against the Giants.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And
a whole Super Bowl game to get up 152.
And this game last night, they had given up 75 yards through 3 quarters, and they took their foot off the gas, and they gave up 200 plus in the 4th quarter.
Right, so that
kind
of
of threw it off.
Yeah.
No, they're right. Listen, I watched that
because if they
whole-
would have pressed it, I know I saw one of the players was like they were mad that they gave up the touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that was a couple of 2 back-to-back plays right there. Listen, they're right up there as far as complete teams, Rob G. Special teams, we talked about it earlier. Defensively,
Their kicking and punting game last night.
People
don't appreciate it, because it's kicking and punting.
No, the punting
but in
was
a game
huge.
like that, you're like, they pinned him inside the 5 3 times.
Right. 3 times they pinned him, and then you can't do it because you can't make a mistake, right? Get safety, so you got to be conservative, and that was huge. Special, but that we all season long we talked about their special teams, from returning it to the other side of kicking it as well. So they're a very, very complete team, and if you tell me they're one of the top 5 or 6, I won't argue with you, but they're not memorable yet. They need more.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Are they one of the all-time great teams? Is that the way you look at them? Kelvin and I have a hard time
not yet.
Forming our lips and saying that. Thank God Alex is not here.
Yeah, that was, thank God.
Yes.
That was a little crazy. I ain't trying to form my lips. Nothing talking about you. Don't
Okay,
put me in
there
your
you
lip, those lip conversations.
Right. Zip your lip.
Yeah, zip your lip.
But where are you? 877-99 on Fox. Maybe you're different. Maybe you think that they are. And maybe you looked at the first 3 quarters and said that's how dominant, and you're not really counting in the last garbage time yards that the Patriots got. We want to hear from you, 877-99 on Fox. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, where we deliver insight, not noise, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
Unless you're forming your lips to be dominant in the U.S.
There's too much.
LeBron may have put his foot in his mouth once again. Take a listen.
Playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. It's a lot of soft tissue injuries that's happened now because of it.
Straight, Boulder Dash, Poppycock. I mean, come on. Like LeBron, this is where people push away. When you hear this and he's trying to justify and whatnot. We get the injuries and what's going on. People used to get injured there, and it was different defensively. But, Rob G., you did the research, right? Or you found out. You got them, too.
I got the numbers.
And the numbers just don't add up for LeBron, and that's the issue. And that's what we talk about. When you listen to these terrible podcasts and there's nobody there to push back and say, well, that's interesting, LeBron, because back in so-and-so, it's the same, and you're saying you're playing differently. What you got?
Man, let me tell you. You're right, because he is absolutely right what he said. It
All right,
was
that's why I want
different.
to talk to Rob G then.
No, I got the numbers. No, I'm saying he's absolutely right. And that the 80s and 90s was way harder to play in. Way more difficult to play in.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yeah, because, listen, let's talk about the numbers. First of all, LeBron typically, he can be this, he can be polarizing, he can be passive-aggressive. One of the things he normally is very astute when it comes to basketball. His acumen, he knows he's a historian. That's one of the things I appreciate.
How do you say that when he voted for Bronny for the All-Star game?
Well, that's his son. You know what I mean? Nepotism, cronyism.
Yes.
You got to get that done. But, he's very well studied, historically, knows the game. That's one of the things you can at least appreciate about him. This one, he's dead wrong in my opinion, for multiple reasons. Number one.
Are we recording this?
The 80s was the absolute, to me, hybrid of the two. You got the fast pace, and he's talking about pacing. Let's talk about the pacing. In the 80s, It was the fastest. In fact, the only pace that they had was 1 year, 87 to 88, when they had a slower pace. They were at 99.6, which the current pace is at 99.6. After that, you're talking 100.6 to 102.1.
Did he ever watch Showtime?
Showtime. The Celtics, the Pistons, the 76ers with Dr. J,
yes.
Houston with the Hakeem and Ralph Sampson. The Nuggets, they were going back in the day.
The Nuggets would score 175 points on a regular basis. Yes.
Watch
Alex
this.
English and all those guys. Yes.
Kiki Vanderway. Not only were they playing at a higher pace, what else would you see? Punches, clotheslines, and hard fouls.
And they were physical. You come into the lane, guess what? You're going to get a two-piece and a biscuit.
So they are playing at a faster pace, way more physical. They didn't have commercial airlines. They did not have the advanced medicine and nutrition that they have right now.
They used to ride next to me on the plane.
Literally.
When I covered the NBA back then, NBA players sat next to me. We were on commercial flights.
Yep.
We took 6 a.m. flights out of every city. Like that was an NBA rule because back then you didn't come back home and get in your own bed. You would go on a road trip.
Yep.
And you would stay on the road and you would fly to the next city and we would be on those flights.
Exactly. So the idea that, it's just so hard now. All y'all do is go 35 feet out and set pick and rolls. Now, if you want to talk about soft tissue issues and why guys are beat up and brutal, I tell you why, and I've been telling this since the duration of me on this show. It's that they only play basketball since they were 6. And that's all they do. And they're playing for their team. They're playing for the travel league. They're playing AAU. Then they play for this team.
That's not what people did. They played all sports.
They played all sports. How many times we hear about guys playing football, baseball, basketball? Oh, I didn't really lock into basketball until my freshman year because the other years I was playing this. Or in high school, I had to decide which one am I going to finally commit to because I played all of these sports. That's the issue why guys are beat down, wore out. That's why LaMelo Ball is always injured, and Lonzo Ball is always injured, and Zion's always injured.
And they played 1 million games on the AAU circuit on the weekend.
6 on Saturday, 5 on Sunday.
Ridiculous.
Then I go back to my regular team, and I'm playing too much. But the idea that they're playing faster pace and it's harder. Yeah, right. You have everything catered to you. The best medicine, best nutrition, best travel, best doctors.
I don't remember any masseuses traveling when I was covering the NBA in the 80s. I don't even remember. There was some fat guy in there rubbing you down after a game.
That's about the best you got. What was the dude with the Pistons for all those 30, 40 years? What was his name? Mike
Abdenauer.
Abdenauer, exactly.
That's a good call for you. Very good. Mike Abdenauer.
Yeah. So I'm blown away with this one, LeBron. It's a big miss because they played at a faster pace throughout the duration of the 80s. They played much more physical basketball. They didn't have the advancement of medicine and technology. So I don't get where he's going. And guys do. And then your guy, Joe Dumars, came out and said they're saying there's no more when it comes to the load management, there's no significant data that concludes that you're better off with load management. Your boys, we back in town. Odd couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Shout out to Ludacris. He had a great run. All right. We're going to talk a little bit coming up here about the halftime show that everybody talked about. 130, 40 million people watch, whatever it is. We'll get into that in just a minute. Check out the brand new YouTube channel. Elijah's got us up looking good right now. Search Odd Couple FSR. You can find us as usual. We appreciate all the subscriptions and the likes, shares, follows, all that good stuff, man. So we appreciate it. Keep on subscribing, folks. We appreciate it. 877-99 on Fox. Seahawks, man, they had a dominant performance. Where did you, when you watch that game, do you say, man, that was one of the better teams I've seen in the last 20, 30 years? Where do you rank them? Still too early, or did you see enough to say, hey, that's a real deal team and we got to show them love? 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
Alexis. And
I thought you were talking to Alexa. Like, about to say, Alexa, play this song.
In Las Vegas, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm well. I want to say,
Say it again. Your phone crapped out.
One more time, brother. But we can't hear you. Go ahead. Start over.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
We got you.
Yeah, I think it's too early to judge the team. Usually you have to have a 3 or 4 year run of greatness to be considered one of the all-time greats. But, you know, they're just getting started, I believe. So give them a couple of years and give them their credit, but you can't crown them yet.
Now, I respect it. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we're into that camp about not crowning people too early and they're the best of this and all that kind of stuff. And that's what happens a lot of times. So we're with you. Thanks so much for calling from Vegas. Appreciate it. How about Devin from Minnesota? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Devin?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys. I mean, it's so hard to put them as like one of the greatest teams ever. I think what they're lacking is just the household names, the notoriety, the star power. I mean, you look at the Seahawks and you're like, wait, who do they have on their team? You have to think about it for a second. They just don't have quite the names that just jump off the page at you like so many of the other famous teams did.
Yeah.
They got to get there. That can come.
And Kelvin said that when he ran off the Ravens, you're like, I know every single guy on defense.
Dude, that Bucs team is insane. The Bucs, the Ravens. You can just rattle off names. I mean, that Seahawks team was kind of like that too. I mean, Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor, Earl Watson. You got obviously Richard Sherman.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas.
Watson,
Earl Watson's a little point guard. Yeah, Earl Thomas.
Earl Watson, I remember him.
Yeah, he was a hooper. So yeah, all right. Appreciate everybody with the calls. On the way, we got to talk about Bad Bunny, that halftime show. Whether you in or out on it, it was a good time. Where he had and kind of the controversy around it too. Right now, Steve DeSager going to get you set on what's trending. Hey, Steve.
Hey there. Let's start with the NBA scoreboard. Charlotte has won 9 in a row, but with 3 minutes left, Detroit is still leading at Charlotte, 102-96, 29 points for Cade Cunningham. Final seconds of the third quarter at Brooklyn, the Nets and the Bulls are tied at 89. Late third quarter, Utah had 80-78 at Miami. Orlando at home leads late third, 87-72 against Milwaukee. Minnesota has 24 points from Anthony Edwards and leads 95-65 over Atlanta in the third. Jalen Johnson of the Hawks out with a knee injury. Johnson today was named Player of the Week in the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, the Kings, who have lost 12 in a row, are down big at New Orleans in the early third. Pelicans 67-48 over Sacramento. To college basketball, number 1 Arizona out to a lead at 9th-ranked Kansas, 19-15. 17th-ranked St. John's won in overtime against Xavier, 87-82. In women's college hoops, at number 4 Texas, home team up 63-51 on number 18 Kentucky with about 30 seconds left. By the way, 7-footer Charles Bediako cannot return to college basketball after a judge in Alabama today denied his motion. He's a former G League player. The NHL is off for the Olympic break. The men's hockey tournament starts Wednesday in Italy. The U.S. opens on Thursday. U.S. women's hockey won 5-0 against Switzerland today. Canada was a 5-1 winner over Czechia. The Americans at 3-0 will end the round robin against Canada on Tuesday. In ice dancing, the U.S. is in second after the opening event. USA curling advanced to Tuesday's final in mixed doubles. The Raiders officially agreed to terms with new head coach Clint Kubiak from Seattle. Browns tight end David Njoku will become a free agent next month. He said his time in Cleveland is over. Phillies pitcher Zach Wheeler will likely miss opening day with a shoulder injury. The Pirates signed former Braves outfielder Marcell Ozuna. The Red Sox acquired infielder Caleb Durbin from Milwaukee. NASCAR's dual races at Daytona are this Thursday night on FS1. The Daytona 500 is Sunday on Fox TV. Back to you.
Hey, have a great night, Steve. Appreciate it. It's the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. And ready to tackle your financial goals? Webull makes it simple to start investing. Powerful tools, real-time data, all in one app. Get started at Webull.com or download the Webull app today. Rob G, are you a data or a data guy? There's a bunch of those.
Data.
Data?
Yep.
Are you a data or a data guy? All that baseball. What is it?
I used to call them pops. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we did call them pops back in Michigan. That's what we
Data,
call them.
data.
Yeah.
Them data, bada. My pockets are fatter.
Oh. Keep going with the
I'm
bars.
just saying.
Okay, I wanted more bars.
Mary's all impressed. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to throw a little something out there, Mary.
Yeah,
All right.
I liked it. Pecan.
Pecan pie.
Rob G, pecan.
Pecan.
Pecan pie.
It's not pecan.
Caramel.
Caramel.
You're not a carameller?
No.
Root.
Tomato.
Root.
Let's call the whole damn thing off.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Not tomato.
I haven't met a single person in my life who said tomato.
I have.
Other than Rob Parker?
You're from England, though.
Well, she
Stop
do be
playing with me,
she
Rob.
do be out there. though.
I'll jump through this glass right now. Stop playing with me.
She do be out there though. Just saying, you be out
Actually, it's in the ends.
Yeah.
I'm in the ends.
Okay.
Anyway, we always talk about those. The caramels are good stuff. Benito, Bad Bunny. Let's just go around the room. Just the thoughts on it, the overall his performance. Obviously, it was so controversial.
It wasn't controversial.
Well, no.
The controversial was that he wasn't. It was un-American to have an American perform.
Stop making sense, Rob.
No, I know.
No, stop making
Seriously.
sense.
Like that's the shame of this country. No, I'm dead serious.
That's a great point.
It's the shame of it. Like, people are so dyed in the wool. I'm American and I'm proud of my country. You don't even know what territories or people are American.
Right.
How is that even a conversation? It's un-American. And then let's have an alternative. Let's have an alternative halftime show where everybody in the room in a country that's a melting pot looks the same. That's your America.
Better.
That's better.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
That's what I was looking for, right? And everybody was getting smacked in the face. Who would be like, if you look at all these podcasts or these shows, well, it's un-American. He's part of the American territories for years.
Right.
Not like this just happened 6 months ago.
No,
You
come
forgot.
on.
For decades. And and so there's that. And then, as if for 15 to 20 minutes, you could enjoy something new, just something new. You know, you have to watch The Who or somebody you don't know or Eric Clapton.
None of those people are from the United States, and at that point, right? You too is
Great
from
example.
Ireland, right?
Yeah, pretty. Yep. You got Rolling Stones.
The Rolling
British,
Stones are from England.
Would that make it better if the Beatles returned or something? Would that be better?
Like, I just don't even understand. Like, why did
Coldplay?
And then the whole idea. And I saw somebody say this on social media. I can't remember what platform. But it was great. Here are people complaining about Bad Bunny performing in San Francisco,
right?
In the state of California, you know what I mean? In Santa Clara, can we explain to you the
100%.
naming of these places and why they have these names?
Let me add to that. Rob G, this is ridiculous. Un-American. And a game in Santa Clara in San Francisco area,
right?
In California, while eating chips and guac, having a margarita. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Un-American.
What is this? This is
I don't even know
un-American.
what I am.
Rob G, I would love to hear your take on this, because it is a slap in the face to Hispanic people and Latin people in this country. I'm dead serious. And it was mean-spirited. It's wrong. That the nature of it, because of with ICE. And I talk about all the time, the only people they're going after are brown people.
100%.
100%.
We talked about it several times. Yes, I've asked.
There are a lot of other people who aren't brown who are from other countries. I haven't seen any raid in New York, in Brooklyn, or any other people.
In L.A. Nope, it's only black or brown people that you're seeing, which, by the way, the vast majority, I'm talking overwhelmingly vast, have no criminal record.
Right.
By the way.
That's
the whole
what it was
point was this supposed to be.
Pick up people who got records. They have no records. And it wasn't supposed to be to pick up kids, 5-year-old kids. But, Rob G., just your take. We want to hear your take on this. Were you proud to see Bad Bunny and what he was able to deliver? This guy was the first Latino, just won the Grammy, right? Didn't he just won the Grammy? He's one of the biggest.
You mean it was the first all Spanish language album to win the
album of the year?
Yes.
Album of the year. Go ahead.
I was surprised coming in that the buzz around his performance was going to be like how anti-American it was going to be and how he needed to wear a bulletproof vest everywhere he went because he was upsetting so many different people.
That's terrible.
And when I watched the halftime show, and you can tweet me if I'm wrong, at the Bruce RG if I forgot this incorrect, it was so pro-American, but from his perspective.
Right.
Growing up in Puerto Rico, these are the bodegas I went to. This was the power outage that we had for 11 months, no power in Puerto Rico. This is the significance of that. This is me growing up with this family member and the joy.
And the history of it,
and the history of it, right?
The sugar canes.
Everything like that. On the top of the big screen behind him says the only thing more powerful than hate is love. He finishes his performance with a football that says, "Together we are America." Now, if you're telling me your issue is that it's not white Americans, that America, as you mentioned, is a melting pot of all these different cultures.
It is that have
and
come
all these different
right.
people, then I guess you could say the only quote-unquote offensive thing he did was that it wasn't in English.
It wasn't offensive
because
to me.
everything was about being American, but being American from a Puerto Rican or a Latin experience.
By the way, you know what he
That's
said about
all
that?
it was.
He said English is not America's first language, and I was like, ooh,
yeah,
smack some people with that.
Right,
smack some people with that, Benito. Yeah, and I just the whole idea, and by the way, too,
because his goal was to bring together, not to separate people. That was the whole point of it.
And that's what I'm saying about the other, and that's where we get like there are plenty of acts. Seriously, that have sang at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you see black people go? Oh, they're bringing in the Who. We don't want to hear the Who. Let us go put on our own thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could do that with everybody, or they could bring in a country singer or whatever. They've mixed it up as different people, and they're stars in their own right. And people just accept it. Well, maybe I don't really know their music. I'll listen.
100%.
I'll listen.
And I don't mind if you have an opinion. Oh, I don't know this dude. That part is fine. You don't have to like the Who, Kendrick, Lady Gaga.
I do like the Who, though, but I know what you
don't
mean,
have to
right.
like Lady Gaga, Beyonce. But the idea that you have to act like it's an offense to your soul and your spirit and the American dream and settle down. It's a concert for 15 minutes on a Sunday where we watch football. Which, by the way, this didn't even. Let's just talk about the history of the halftime show. You have the Wayans brothers, Keenan and Ivory Wayans specifically, to thank to this. Do you know the history of why we have massive shows? I'll tell you in 30 seconds. It used to just be halftime, some circus in the local town or some kids or a marching band.
It really was nothing.
Really was nothing. The In Living Color on Fox trying to build their name up. What can we do to steal the audience for 30 minutes? So they said, well, you're a popular show in Living Color.
And that show was big.
And this was when they were booming. Yep. They said, we're going to do a live show. So they promoted it. They said, we're going to do a live show.
What, they get 20 million viewers?
They drew millions of viewers. They said, hey, and this is how big it was. They said, we're going to let you know. We're going to put a clock. And so you'll know to go back to the game. Right. But for 30 minutes, stay with us. Everyone watched. They drew millions and millions and millions and millions of viewers. And you know what the networks did? Super Bowl, NFL, they did. You know what? The next year, guess who the first big-time halftime show was? Michael Jackson, the biggest human being in the world. They said, no, we ain't happening again. Mike, hello.
And it was smart, like with the clock, so you wouldn't miss the kickoff.
You're not gonna miss the game.
Just come
with us
over.
For 30
Right.
They had a literal clock, 29, 28, 25 minutes. So they did a live In Living Color, which was, as you mentioned, peaking and booming. That's how we got this. So let's stop acting like this is some 300-year-old tradition where we have to have. It's a halftime show with a few acts for 15 minutes. You don't like it, deal with it. Acting like it's an offense to your soul and your people, and stop it. You ain't even got to like it, but stop acting like you're beyond offended. It's the worst thing you ever seen.
I thought it was good. I really did.
Yeah, he was jamming. And last point for me, I told this to Rob G earlier. The amount of pressure on him, right? Because Rob, wasn't this like a normal concert for him at
No,
Crypto.
it was right.
Rob's going where you're going to see him and have fun, and it's ladies' night out. I'll be going to see Bad Bunny. Everyone was watching him. On one end, it's you better say something. Right. You better rep for us.
Right.
You better say something. Go up there and have a message, a la Kendrick Lamar last year. You better have a message for us. We as a country, we as the young people, we as black people, you better say something. Well, he had the same pressure. We as America, we as the people are trying to fight this and all this, and as a Latino, you better say something. On the other end, you got to perform well, right? Just have the hits, play the right tunes. And there have been reports that he's getting death threats. There are reports that he was possibly wearing bulletproof vests between this and the Grammys. I saw such a relief. There's a video of him afterwards hugging Roger Goodell, and they just like, because you could just see
and I'm
like
gonna give the NFL credit too, and I know Jay-Z's in charge of like putting together the acts for but they didn't buckle. They just said
100%.
They said he's one of the hottest entertainers in the
streamed
world,
yeah.
in the world, not just in the United States, in the world. And we picked him, and we're not. I heard Roger Goodell. We're not changing.
Mm-hmm.
This is who we have, and he's going to perform, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
And the other, the alternative, they cry. Did you see the crowd and the numbers for the other one? Awful.
130-something million for Bad Bunny, $6 million for
and Kid Rock was lip syncing. They said didn't even sing.
Yeah, Kid Rock. Boy, let me tell you something. Actually, I won't tell you something.
Shouldn't it be Grandpa Rock?
Yeah,
Is it
ain't nothing kiddish about it now.
No, I'm just
don't change up on your whole man. But don't get me started.
Yes, I don't know.
You know, you were in Detroit all them years he was there.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that Kid Rock though.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yeah, now you're gonna switch.
Yeah.
Like that.
All good.
Yeah. Good
all
stuff.
right.
Good conversation. 877-99 on Fox. All right, last call time. Our first show back in L.A. after being out there in San Francisco all week. We had a good time. 877-99 on Fox. Want to be the last caller? This is your chance to do so. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's go, Rob G. Last night I threw up in my mouth, and it wasn't from the pasta that I ate. It was from the idea that Rob G. Matthew Stafford won the MVP.
Guys, well, yes, if you missed it last night, Matthew Stafford is the NFL MVP. We all kind of expected it. He won by one vote over Drake Maye, who will be playing on Sunday.
Nobody expected that. Would you give me that?
One vote.
That it was that close?
Yeah, and there's good reason why. It's because we mentioned it last year with the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson situation. When it comes to All-Pro, whoever wins All-Pro historically wins the MVP. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford ran away with first-team All-Pro. However, much like last year, a lot of voters flipped their All-Pro vote from Matthew Stafford to Drake Maye, which led to the closest MVP vote since 2003. And Rob, something tells me you're not happy about it.
We know you wasn't happy about it.
The voters, they got it wrong. They got Justin Herbert. How does he? Because he's 6 foot tall, 6'4", and looks like a quarterback. He got a vote. Like that was the worst vote.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Josh Allen got 2 votes, questionable as well, especially the way they fell off at the end. Mm-hmm. Very questionable. At one point, he was kind of in the mix.
Well, you're going to be, you're in the mix. You're the reigning MVP.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But still, it was kind of weird. And the idea that it was so close, to me, speaks volumes. Because his numbers, Stafford's numbers, were way better than Drake Maye. But there apparently were voters out there who just could not come to terms with voting a guy named Stat Padford as MVP.
Let me check it.
That's why he didn't get an overwhelming number of votes for MVP, because his nickname is Stat Padford. Because everybody knows he's been padding stats since he was in Detroit. He padded stats the last game of the year against the Cardinals after he had that terrible game against Atlanta, and he had that terrible fourth quarter against Seattle when they blew that 16-point fourth quarter lead. The voters got it wrong. I needed 3 other voters to come and make this all right. And I know I've had some year, but when I heard the numbers, I was disappointed, but I felt a lot better because a lot of people went the other way.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you felt a lot better, but I think, and it wasn't a blowout though. Matthew Stafford, you mentioned some of the things that happened, and it didn't happen in the postseason where they've already cast their vote. The stuff that would make people maybe go, oh, it's tight. Like let's say week, 13-ish, 4G, like, it's close. I got Stafford right now. Look like they're going to run away with the West, maybe run away with the NFC.
They were the number 1 seed.
Right, the tougher
for most of the year.
Tougher conference. And then the last few games, they do lose to Seattle. They lose a stinker to Atlanta. And they fight. He has to play against the Cardinals. So I do think some people are like, it's that close. I'm going to give it to Drake May. Or some people may have said it's that close, but maybe I really looked at Drake May's schedule. And so both played spectacularly, but I think they got it right ultimately for me because I'm looking at a guy that was in a we just had Christian McCaffrey here. His division was incredibly tough, as is. In fact, one of the representatives from his division in the Super Bowl is from his division. So we got to play them twice. You got to play the 49ers
But that doesn't
twice.
seem – I hear that.
But hold on, and I go through the rest of that conference and their schedule. So they played an incredibly difficult schedule, and then Matthew Stafford still goes crazy with the numbers. And his numbers were ballooned compared to anyone else. So I think, again, this was no blowout. This wasn't a year where, there's just no rivals. Maybe a Patrick Mahomes year from a few years ago where you're like, all right, what are we going to do? Or a Lamar Jackson year a couple years back. This is just, to me, where if I were a voter, I would have edged him out in his favor looking at those things.
I don't think so. Because I saw a lot of tweets from football writers who were shocked at how close it was. There were some who thought, wow, with his numbers, that many people didn't vote for him.
But it's what you were saying even before we got here. It was the close of the season. And you brought up who they played. Was it the Cardinals? Yeah, last week.
When he put those added, what do you have, 4 touchdowns, Rob G, last week or whatever that got him to over the.
So imagine it's the reverse. He throws two, and he throws 2 interceptions. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and this is how you finish it. Well, that might have been the 2 or 3 votes. So he and maybe that also was what made him win, was going out there and playing, because maybe if people would have saw the last you lost to the Falcons, would not have voted well for him. So
I need to start getting a vote. I know I'm in the baseball.
How many Hall of Fame or MVPs and Hall of Fame votes you want?
I need one for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because had I been a voter,
I tell you why they're not going to give it to you.
I wouldn't have guessed.
No, because you wouldn't have gone into this and saying, well, let me see, let me look at this, let me look at that. You'd have gone in there with, dang it, I've been calling him Stat Pafford for 15, 20 years. I got to keep calling him that. Ain't no way I can vote him the MVP. So, no, they ain't giving you a vote. You would have had to go in there. There's no way you could have gone. You know who's an MVP, Rob G? Matthew. You would have stuttered.
No. But I still feel vindicated that despite the numbers, it wasn't a runaway.
Radio, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Great show, first one back in L.A. Appreciate everybody who joined us today. Shaun King, our guy TJ Houshmandzadeh. All that will be up on the podcast. Coming up, we'll have a long version and a best of version as soon as we're off the air with all this yakety yak. It is now time for Last Call. Last call.
That's right. All right, last call. Shaun from Sacramento. Shaun? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. You are the father. And you are the last call. What's up, Shaun?
Yo, my uncle from another brother, cousin Kelvy, and my brothers behind the board. What up, Mary? Man, what a game, Unc. That man, Sam Darnold's a bad boy. No turnovers. Matter of fact, Drake May was serving up them cherry, apple, and vanilla turnovers over and over and over again. That first time that you was wrong all year, man, happened to be the Super Bowl. But I must admit, He did not. NOT win the MVP. So I owe you 50 of them birds, man. Let me know flat drums, what store you want them from, man. I owe you, brother.
All right, you know it's going to be. I need a gift card to Wingstop. How's that?
I'll get you Wingstop. I thought you was a Buffalo Wild Wings kind of guy.
I like
man.
both, but I'll do the. There's a Wingstop near the crib.
I'm trying to think
the
which is
Wingstop.
better. I think I'm a
Okay,
Wingstop
man,
guy.
I'll get you that. I was going to throw out Fixins. I'm a supporter of Kevin Johnson, but if it's Wingstop, I'll do the Wingstop.
Yeah. No, we'll do that the next time I'm in Sacramento again. We'll do those.
They got fix. Oh yeah, he's from
you
Sac,
touch
so they
them.
got to fix it up there.
As long as you pay Kelvy his ransom, man. I could have sworn y'all had a wings bet on the Seahawks and the Patriots, man. I thought you put the trigger on that, Kelvy.
No, I forgot. Honestly, literally, I was going to. We literally forgot.
Yep.
He paid up. He paid up on that last one.
Yeah, the last one I gave him the Buffalo.
I haven't
Wild
used it
Wings,
yet.
right?
I got. I still burning a hole in my wallet. I'm gonna use it at some
No
point.
doubt. All right, hey Shaun.
Appreciate you,
Thank
Shaun,
you.
brother.
Appreciate it.
No doubt.
Last thing.
Yeah.
There was a great thing on NBC.
What they? Oh yeah.
That was the Rodney
I'm
Harrison
glad you brought that
and
up.
Tony Dungy. They had got into it, and Michael Kay from ESPN. New York. Do we have the audio, Rob G? All right. This is the interaction. Let's play it.
Oh my God.
There's a couple things here. I'll say this first.
Dang, he looking at, mind you, tell the people he's looking at him in his eyes. This ain't no random. He's right next to him.
Two things that I had an issue with, and I brought up Michael Kay from ESPN because he said that he had a strong take that Tony Dungy should be fired, but from NBC for not divulging whether he voted for or
against
Bill Belichick.
Why?
And the idea is, first of all, if you're doing that topic and you have somebody who's involved, at this point, did you vote for him or didn't you? I'm just, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody knows there's a controversy that just came out and you won't tell people who you voted, you probably got a good sense that he didn't vote for him. Would you agree? Otherwise, you would just say, I voted for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I agree with that.
So he didn't do that.
Or you can't do this. You can't do the segment.
I would, if I'm a producer and you won't. What are we doing it for?
Because now Rodney just looks like he's attacking you, and you're not saying anything back.
And you're not saying anything back. And then the other part is, again, I'm going to say this till the cows come home. If you have a reporter there, you got a coach, and you have a player who played for him. If anybody, Rodney Harrison, somebody has to check him and say, Rodney, this franchise was caught up in a cheating scandal not once, 3 times. So to make it like if nobody belongs there, then Bill Belichick, dude, you cannot act like it didn't happen.
And that's where Tony was supposed to say, to your point, you know what, Rodney, I wasn't going to go there, but since you want to have that conversation, I did not vote for him. In a large portion, I think he's incredible. I think he's this. But you part of the cheating scandal, and I really weighed on me, and I can't do that. And you were on those teams. If you want to go, have those conversations.
This is what I'm saying, but there was not that pushback, and that's why it seemed heavy-handed by Rodney Harrison.
And like as if Bill Belichick was a saint.
Like he was a saint and everybody is wrong and nobody – I can't believe that – no, you're acting like there was nothing else there and we just went off of his record and he had no blemishes. Yes, under those circumstances you could be outraged. You can't be outraged when you're leaving out the elephant in the room that he cheated. 3 times the Patriots cheated, even as far back as 2019 with the Bengals. Come on, man. We can't leave that out the story.
Yeah, and to kind of attack Tony Dungy, who that's not really his thing, handling controversial conversations on TV. You know, that's just not his bag. I thought that was kind of low to do that, knowing, like me and you, that's what we do, right? So we can go after it. That's what we do. So I was shocked that they allowed that to do that. But you and I will go at it tomorrow, Trash Talking Tuesday.